How's everybody doing on this fine Saturday for Warhammer and Halloween and other things? You're very lucky because it's not just me here today for Warhammer. I have a very special guest. She'll be here any minute. She's very busy, has lots of things to do. Can you please welcome the one, the only Jessica Lynn Verdi?
Oh, there, yeah.
It's up there. Very complicated setup.
Today we have Elaki. Hi, nice to see you. We have Uzi. We have Swolkatu.
Nice.
We have Squirrely. And Zardoz,
awesome.
Who just was in it to win it with my Phasmophobia stream. Everyone loved it.
Maybe I should.
Your wife lets that loon in the house. Wowie. Where is that loon bird? There's a.
Should I try that game one day?
What is it? Oh, Phasmophobia?
Yeah.
Are you good with Wasta?
With what?
Playing games with your Wasta keys?
Sure.
I
mean, as good as I am with any
I think you should.
video
I think
game.
It would be really interesting to see how you fare.
I was in chat when you were playing with Janelle and
they carried me.
Kat and Pandar.
Hi, Music.
Was it that? That was the group, right? The four of
yeah,
you?
me, Pandar, Janelle, and Kat. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was carrying me,
okay.
And then she's like, "Okay, other people carrying me because in case I lose all her stuff, because that's the threat." And I think I died 2 times in a row. It was pretty god awful. But the more you die, it's more like, oh, okay. Because people are like, are you really that scared? 1,000%, if not more so.
Yeah.
It is not a show. You guys know me to like maybe push it to 11 sometimes,
sure.
But I'm pretty much always at a 10 anyway.
Yeah,
it's pretty god awful.
Okay.
Anyway, we're not here for that.
No, we're not. Okay, we are here for Warhammer. Welcome. Oh, Tiny Chris, hello. Sorry, the chat is a little bit far away and my eyes aren't the best, so I do need to lean in. Not a jump scare person. Did you see the new sub badges?
Okay, I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry for those of you that have been supporting him for so long that you don't get to be a Robotech, but it is exciting.
They're on there now.
And Ripley has some new ones coming up, and I'm very excited about it. You actually reminded me that I needed to be like, hello, are they ready?
Yeah.
Very exciting. But this is so. Tell me why you went with Robotech of all things.
I love Robotech. It's my longest, most favorite property. I've been watching since 1985 when it first was on air. Yes, I was only 6, but yes, I was alive in 1985. I know a few other people in chat were alive then, not everybody. It came to me that it would be a really good thing to use for sub badges because there's the basic. I know nothing about it. You know that, right? Yeah. So it's down here. All of these. So it's a plane that turns into a robot. So
did they steal it from Transformers, or did Transformers? Wait, which one comes first, the chicken or the egg?
Transformers was a little bit before then,
but it was like it was in the air.
Yeah. But the cool thing is that the way that you
hi, Solid Snake.
The way that you differentiate different ranks is there are different head designs. And I thought, that would be good for sub badges because as they progress, it goes up through the ranks.
That's perfect.
I thought it. Yeah.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay, I was born in 1986. You've been watching a TV show.
It's
longer than I've been awake in this world.
Well, there aren't that many episodes because it was only on for a year, and then we've just been basically living off of that for
real.
Yeah. I mean, they've done a little bit more animation. They've done a bunch of comic books and novels and stuff like that. And obviously toys. There are lots of toys just off screen. Yes. Well, technically, Transformers was an adaptation of the previous Diaclone, which were piloted, but yes. It's... But like you said, we're not here to talk about that today.
That doesn't mean... Why are we here?
Why are we here?
What is today?
We're here. This is Warhammer Weekend. Someone wiser than me came up with that name.
Really clever.
It's great. All my other my streams are
alliterative.
Themed, so that it fits right in. 48 hours. Eventually, we'll
That's
do
very
that.
possible.
Yeah.
So,
but yes,
you told me.
Yes.
We were talking about where are your strengths, right? You got so many strengths and you stream so much. And then you told me that basically every Friday, something about Warhammer changes, or like new
Saturday.
Every Saturday, new stuff happens.
Yes.
So, what happened today?
Today is not only Saturday for Warhammer, but today is actually Warhammer Day.
Stupid.
It's the official Warhammer Day.
Dumb.
So
why didn't you hashtag any of your tweets that?
Oh, because I forgot.
All right, I'm gonna fix that.
It is Warhammer Day, so a bunch of stuff is on pre-order for next week, which I can talk about later. But there is a brand new exclusive model for today, so I went out and got it this morning.
Did you really?
And built
it.
Yeah, it was a very simple.
Are you kidding me?
It literally took me. It took me 10 minutes,
dude.
And it only took me that long because I used glue, and you don't even have to, because it's dark. It's dark over here. I'll have to take a picture. Shoot, that's one thing we didn't think about is doing the close-ups.
Watch.
Oh, you're gonna flash me?
Did that work?
It's having trouble focusing. Well, anyway, we'll get a picture.
Hold on, wait.
We'll get a. Oh no.
It's okay. Everything's fine.
That's too bright. There we go. That's good. So it's a new Terminator Chaplain. He's got a bunch of skulls on him. It's not the same as this exclusive Terminator Chaplain, which was the store opening model. There we go. So anyway, that's the new one. But Warhammer is actually very kind to people because we are living in a pandemic world. You do not have to rush out to your store to buy it. You actually can order this online. It is made to order, so as many people order them in the next couple of days, they will provide them. It just might be a few months until you get yours. It is plastic. It is push fit. It is very easy to build. Like I said, I do add glue in my push fit models. You just have to do it carefully so you don't get any glue. I always do the hand. Are you ready?
No.
So there are posts and there are holes, and that's how you push fit a model together. But it's important because if you get glue inside that creates enough tension that it doesn't fit all the way in, and then the model parts won't sit flush. So you can't get glue inside. You have to get it. Basically, you have to do just around the rim.
You know what though? That makes sense because when you push in, it brings it with it.
And there's tension there, yeah.
So
remember that.
You have children and you're horrible.
Well, how do you think you make them?
Chris.
I missed it.
That's fine.
I was going to be like just the tip, but you said just the rim.
It's the rim, yeah. In this case, it's all about the rim.
Cheesy crazy.
Yes. So anyway, I got that. Like I said, I got that this morning. I don't know what's happening there. Yeah, so that is the third Terminator Chaplain. It's actually a previous metal one, which is pretty gnarly.
Sexy girl talks Warhammer 4K on Warhammer Day Live.
Call the Simps.
Did I say?
Get the Simps in here.
Did I put Norse me? I did. Good. I do so many different Twitch handles. That's like, did I do?
That's
Ripley?
true. Yeah,
it's a lot. So
yes,
you won't be doing this every Saturday, will you?
This stream? I mean,
is it looking like it works out? It could work out.
It could. Yeah,
okay,
I'd like to try it.
Great.
You obviously don't need to be here every Saturday.
Well, duh. But I want to be.
Well, I mean, you were always welcome.
But no, you said I was a special guest. I thought I was going to be co-host, but I'm a special guest.
Well, I mean,
it's okay.
Well, we'll look at the contract after.
Oh, frick.
But yeah, so you can tell on these. There's the little easy to build notation on the back, and it tells you push to fit, no glue, but there are tools required. Which is weird because you don't really need tools for that. You might need clippers to get out any tiny.
Why is this one
pieces
metal?
Because it's 30 years old. Well, 20 years old.
Is it the same thing though?
It's the same unit, but it's a different sculpt.
Look at that.
So, and you can see just how much they've upgraded in terms of quality of sculpt and what they can sculpt in plastic. Because it used to be that you could only get really intricate sculpts in metal or resin especially. But now Games Workshop basically can do anything in plastic that most other companies can only do in resin.
Fascinating. Yeah, like that skull is nuzzled in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And even just a handful of parts. I mean, this new one was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 parts, and that's not a lot for a model this small.
So why does Warhammer how does Games Workshop have the capacity to have something new out every weekend?
That's a good question. And especially, well, I was going to say is thank you for the follow, Pain Gamer.
Pain, no gaming without pains. Why is it in front of my face?
I can move it.
No, I'm going to move it.
Move
this is rude.
Because I don't usually have a...
It's okay. Ooh,
oh, thank you so much for the subscription,
Tiny Chris. How many months? Or just new?
And now you'll get a little badge.
Ooh, you'll be a Robotech.
Yes.
Robotech.
Yes, all of the things. So normally, the way Warhammer works, it's actually really interesting in the world of collectibles and products and things, because most companies who make toys or other collectibles, they announce what they're going to make months and months in advance.
Okay.
Right? Because the way, and I talk about this especially on my Toy Tuesday streams, for a toy to be made, it takes about a year to make a toy. Even like a major company, it takes a year. From let's start making the design to having it in the package, it's a year. 9 months if you rush things. But
hi, Undead Scenes fan. Nice to see you.
Games Workshop is really interesting, yeah, because they do not announce things ahead of time until like a month out, if we're lucky. And it's for a couple different reasons. Number one, there are so many other people out there doing 3D sculpts and their own molds. They don't want to show off something that's going to come out in 4 months, and then another company goes and quickly makes their own that you can buy for a third of the price.
Right.
Something like that.
Because that could happen.
It could happen. It has happened. But
you, in theory, could make your own army using your own 3D work. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. The other thing is they come out with so much product, they don't necessarily want you to plan on what you're going to buy. Oh, I'm going to buy that thing next month, so I'm not going to buy this one this month.
Smart. So Squirrel said,
because we just don't know what's coming.
Squirrel said it takes longer for new toys to come out than a baby, and I think that's kind of cool.
It's true. And again, like that's why with toys that are based on movies, if the toys come toys that come out at launch of a movie, like when a movie comes out, oftentimes those toys they might have some like weird looks to them or weird accessories because they're based on very early things in the process of making the movie, or concept art even. So you get things that like the design has changed or the colors have changed.
No, I'm fine. I'm just in a little pain.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
All right.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's more like, you know how like when you have like it's like it feels this is good. You know how like it hurts just enough to like keep on touching it?
Yes.
That's where it's at right now.
For sure.
Like it's like, ooh, this is painful, but I can live with it. Like yummy.
Yeah.
Like it's a weird thing I'm experiencing.
And the 3D stuff these days is crazy. So when 9th edition came out just a couple months ago, it came out with a box set.
I'm going to answer Undead Saints fan.
Okay, yeah, definitely, because I can't see
really
that.
Quick. I had my wisdom teeth taken out on my left side, so I'm a little swollen, but everything's fine. It was like the best procedure ever, but it's just a little. Hi, Arsenal.
Power from pain, that's right.
Or pleasure, depending on what Cenobite you are. But thank you for asking. So, also, if you're just joining the stream, thank you, and click that follow button because he's the biggest geek in town who knows about Warhammer. So, carry on.
So when the new set came out for this new edition, it was a big box set. It had a bunch of Space Marines, it had a bunch of Necrons, and they showed it off about a month before it came out, somewhere around there. And
thank you for the follow.
Why did that not make a sound that time?
I don't know.
Thank you for the follow, Pinwiz.
Oh, hi, Pinwiz. Nice to see you. Also, it was nice to see you last night at Heartbeats.
I saw Pinwiz in the chat, yeah. I was there.
I gave Pinwiz shit early on, excuse me. And you know what? He stuck around, and I gotta be grateful for that.
So they showed off the models that were going to be coming out in the box set. And then not 2 weeks later, somebody had already created their own 3D versions of them, and they were being passed around the internet. It's crazy.
Wild.
So that does happen. But yeah, I think a lot of it is because they don't want us to budget. They don't want us to say, oh, that's coming out in a couple months, so I'm not going to buy this thing that's coming out this week.
Yeah, that makes
They
a lot
just
of
want us to
sense.
continue to buy whatever comes out, and it definitely works.
Oh, hi, Patty.
There is a child creeping.
Scott's streaming on the weekend.
I know, right? It's crazy.
Well, I actually think this is a good fit for you, Scott. So, hello,
well, yeah,
sir.
there's definitely
Can I please
different.
have some more water?
Yes, because my normal streams are
Thank
10
you, sir.
a.m. on weekdays, and that's not the best for everybody.
Well, yeah, I think we're expanding,
Yes.
and you have so much to offer, especially like a community that I don't know if it's underserved. Are there other people that are doing things like this?
There are other people, yeah, who do. A lot of it is very hobby related.
I see.
Like it's all painting and stuff like that.
I see.
And that's fine. There's some amazing painters out there.
And there's people who are specifically into the world for that reason too.
Oh yes, yeah.
Thank you, sir. I'm so grateful. Oh, okay. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. They come in and talk all the time. On
Oh,
my
I know.
streams. They just have to stay off camera, but they definitely.
You can also just hear them sometimes.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So if I had the time to get into Warhammer,
yes.
I like it. I do like it. You got me to like it, especially because you let me win that first time with the rock and rollers.
You won all on your own.
I don't know.
I've told this story. Save where you were in that thought because I want to mention.
There's nowhere in the thought I'm at.
I've told this story that I have taught. I love games. I love the stuff that I do, and I love teaching. Yes, so I've literally taught hundreds of people how to play HeroClix. I've taught dozens of people how to play Warhammer, maybe 100. So it's fascinating when you teach that many people, you start to see patterns of people who pick up things in games, even if they're totally unfamiliar with them. And I've talked about that you and there were a couple of other people too,
Emma.
Emma exactly, who just picked it up right away and were like, oh, okay, I get it, I get how those numbers work, and it's so cool to see that because other people. I think that's not a slight when you don't get that, but other people are like, no, you have to show me this over and over and over again before it sinks in. And it's just different ways of learning.
And for me, it was the steps that I lost track of.
Yeah, gamer brain, exactly.
Yeah, we're conditioned early on, not to make it about me, but there's people that are plenty of like, oh, Jessica doesn't play games because she's not a real gamer because she only plays Minecraft. Like, okay,
yeah, sure.
I've been playing since I was 3 video games, and so I don't need to prove that to anybody because the joy I derive from it is awesome. So, but I am trained. I was just thinking about it. Like, I don't have to think about what buttons I'm pressing while I'm. That's insane.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah. I got really good when I worked at a deli. I was talking about my deli life on my stream this week. I worked at a deli for 8 years. That's a long time. That's a long time for any job. That's a lifetime.
In this day and age, to work any job for 8 years. That's
where I.
What are you, a boomer?
I had no credit, and we were looking to. It was my first apartment that I was gonna be co-leasing.
Yeah.
Again, I had no credit.
Yeah.
And we looked at a house, and the guy called my mother and said, I am going to give them this lease just based off of her work history. That says so much about her. And he was even like, you must be so proud of her. But anyway, everything was still really tactile. We had like an old school in the sense that it was like buttons, machine, register. It wasn't a computer yet.
Yeah.
And we had to add the bills by hand after writing them.
Sure. Yeah.
So I'd be in the corner working on 3 bills like this, and I got to know. First of all, the number pad is different for a calculator than it is for a telephone.
Right. Yep.
And so I got to know that, and there was nothing more satisfying than like entering 75 different numbers and ending up with a perfect total. So there is I think the gaming for me is really tactile. I enjoy that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
For sure.
But I appreciate the compliment. I still think you're giving me more credit than I deserve. Like other people, like Naeem picked it up real quick. And
like I said, there's it's a certain. I guess it's a mindset or a mentality, but yes, but it's interesting seeing that over.
So we didn't say this in the tweet, but if you get 10 subscribers today, what are you gonna give away?
Oh my goodness!
So if we get 10 subscribers by the end of the stream, which is at 4 p.m. our time, which is in about an hour and a half.
Yes, and we already got one.
We got one subscriber on the board. If we get 10 subscribers, you are going to get something sent to you.
Yes.
We will let you know.
Yeah, because...
Heck yes! Thanks for the follow. Oh, Rabid Wombat just rated.
Oh,
That's so
nice.
Thank you so much.
Rabid Wombat. How was your stream?
What does he stream?
Rabid Wombat paints miniatures.
Oh, that's right.
And
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
What the heck? Is that it? How many is that? 5. Wait. 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that 8 or 9? What the heck just happened?
I don't know. It's hard to see.
Hold on.
This has never happened before.
Tiny Chris just gave so many subs, and an anonymous person gifted subs.
Well, then I'm sure we're
someone
at
do
10.
the adding. Holy moly!
I'm sure we must be at 10.
That is so nice. Okay.
It just keeps.
So now, if we get to 25 in total, there will be another giveaway.
For sure. Yeah.
Holy moly!
And I will say I have a ton of models. And because of that, there's a hype train. I have a ton of models. I even have some exclusive models from special events that I will also
very cool.
throw in there.
So we're at different tiers today. We're gonna be giving away different things. That is so.
Yeah, I definitely have things, and I'll
what the heck?
I'll throw in a book.
Great.
So we'll do. Hype train is happening. Thank you so much.
This is happening.
Everybody's gonna get my cool sub badges.
It's so exciting
that I just made this week.
And so you have to send an email out today after to people going, hey, enjoy your sub badge, enjoy my email.
Oh yes, that's a good. Yes.
This is so cool. I think Pete knows how to run a giveaway. So Pete, please do the first giveaway for us. So
that's right. Yeah, we'll do a giveaway right now.
Who's getting the first thing?
Yeah, Savage Punch. It'll just be I'll close my eyes and go to my bookshelf and whatever book I come across.
Give us your bits. Give level 4, dude.
Oh,
that's incredible. Savage Punch just subscribed. I think it's a few months for him. This is
thank you so much for all of the subscribers, all of the donated, gifted subscriptions. Those are amazing.
This is just so awesome. Solkatu, subscribe now. So Squirrel's giving more.
Well, thank you all so much. This is amazing.
So fun. Okay, so Pete, if you don't mind, please let's run the first. Everyone get hype in chat. Throw your bits in there. Let's run our first giveaway that we didn't tell you was going to happen.
Right.
But here we are.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'll definitely, like I said, I definitely have some cool things that some stuff from Japan.
Yeah, so whoever's the winner, you're going to whisper Scott. It would be helpful if you're in the USA. If you're not, we might give you like a gift card or something like that. As opposed to shipping. Is that too hard for you?
I've shipped overseas.
This is so exciting.
It's great.
Level 4. Keep it coming. Let's get that level 5. Ayub is bae. Oh. You guys, that's who I was texting at the start of
this. Really?
So
he's here with us.
I ship it. That's all. It's like, it's so good. Ayub. So, just talk about me some more.
Of course.
The first guy I cast was Laurie's husband, Paul Bonasic, who is Chris Galloway.
Yep.
And then we brought Nick in, and he is just quickly trampled any other love interest for my character. And it's
bits. Thank you so much for the bits.
Bits. That's a nice grip of bits.
It is.
Yeah, that's very nice, Tiny Chris. Thank you. So for me, this goes back to my theory, which people can disagree with me. We love to flirt with people that we love to flirt with, and in life and in improv and in RPGs. And I'm a big flirt.
That is the thing.
Listen, this is a compliment I get. That's why Janelle said I'm a little gay, and she's probably not wrong. I flirt with everybody.
I think everybody is at least a little bit. It's a spectrum.
Humans.
Yes.
I love humans.
I'm with you.
And I get excited about them, and Ayub gets me all sorts of things. I'm into it. And Nick Masu is a wonderful improviser. Who got it?
Rabid Wombat.
Wombat. Perfect person. I don't know if we're at 25 yet. Can someone do the math?
Man.
Pete,
can
you do the math for us? Because when we get to 25, we'll do another
then
giveaway.
yes.
And if we get to 40, we will do another one.
100%. Yes.
We will. So
Yes.
Rabbit Wombat's getting a
and
book.
like I said, I have plenty of things to.
Has Rabbit Wombat gotten a book before?
Yes, Rabbit Wombat does have a book. Yes.
So let us know if you do want another book.
I have some other. I'll take care of Rabbit Wombat.
Awesome. Well, this is exciting.
It is.
We have only 1 minute left to get to level 5.
Oh.
Holy crap!
Well, there we go. Thank you so much, Elaki. I really appreciate that.
That means we're doing another giveaway.
I didn't even know what all the hype train levels even do.
It unlocks certain emotes that people get to use, and if you're in the chat while it's happening, then you also get those.
Okay, cool.
Elaki.
You guys are amazing. Cool. Thank you so much. You all are amazing.
So cool. I should say. I don't think we can get higher than level 5, so that's pretty exciting. I think that probably puts us at
pinging over there
25. Hey,
Eridence. Sorry if it got pixely there for a second. Our rate is doing a little bit. It'll even out in a second.
This is so nice. This is so nice. See, people like you. He's always worried like people don't like him, and I'm joking. I'm projecting.
Did you see I built this on Wednesday?
I didn't. This is under detailed.
Well, it's a bunker, so it's supposed to be really utilitarian.
I see.
And just kind of
I don't hate it.
Blocky.
I gotta tell you, the set designer in me is in love with this.
Do you know who made this?
Your mom.
No. She might be watching.
Evie, are you here?
She wasn't going to watch.
We're at 21 subscribers.
Oh, wow.
That is so cool.
So I told my mom that I had a new stream on Saturday, and she said, "Oh, what's it about?" And I said, "Warhammer." She said, "Oh, well, that's nice." And then I told her that you were going to be here, and she said, "Oh, I'm going to watch."
Okay.
No, Darrow
we
made
need to have
this.
a Zoom call with your mommy.
Sure, yeah. Darrow.
Hold on.
Among other things.
I don't think he's here, but he jumped into my chat with a very fun dad joke the other day. This font is incredible. We have to do it. You have to show it.
Oh, okay.
Look at that.
So this was terrain that he made for Grimdark Dawn at Hyper.
That's fantastic.
But hold on, wait, because there's more.
So you know what that reminds me of a set I designed when I was a kid, or
really?
Not as a kid, but
cool.
as.
So there's also lights inside, and he decorated the
battery pack.
Yeah, as a dumpster with trash. He made his own trash bags to go on it.
Stop
it's amazing.
Stop.
And then on stream, we named the character, and yeah, it was fantastic. All the graffiti is references to things on Grimdark Dawn and Desecration Nation.
Dude, that is so cool.
So yeah,
I want to do that. I want to come back on a Saturday and build like this kind of stuff. Oh no! Adult Brendan, my love. That is so great. So we're at 22 now. Is that right? That's very nice, Pete Wiz. Thank you.
And thank you, Tiny Chris. I love
more
seeing,
bits.
I love when new people are getting into this, or especially like getting into these hobbies. It's so much fun to talk about all this stuff over and over and over again.
Brendan, my love.
Yeah. So that's
Elaki said, "Oh, squirrel,
my
we're doing another giveaway."
We sure are, and that's what we finished level.
Yeah, we got 5? There. Oh, one to go. One more to go. Great.
Level 5 complete. Wow.
So I read something about GW retiring the current starter packs and replacing them with new ones. Which are a better value, the outgoing or the new ones? Yeah.
So,
guys,
can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can you grab that big box over there that says "Start Collecting" on the top? Yeah. So one thing that we get, I know everything's dusty. So one thing that gets asked all the time is, how do you get into Warhammer? And I can give you my larger answer later, but for right now. They do have some what are essentially starter sets, and so they have these boxes that are called Start Collecting. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, Start Collecting.
They're called that?
Yeah, they're actually called. They're Start Collecting boxes.
Here's Solkatu. This is how you get back into it.
Now this one is really interesting because it's Demons of Slaanesh that you can use in either the fantasy game or in 40K because it's the same.
Fantasy. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But yes, they are retiring the Start Collecting boxes specifically, and they're coming out with new box sets that are called Patrol something. Because basically in the new version of 9th edition, you can...
Whoa! Oh!
You can make...
Wait! A tradie 003!
Oh.
So, Arsenal Roy
Hello.
gave one more subscription, and we're on our way to
I don't even know a tradie
giveaway.
003.
But I know
so
it's pretty
welcome.
cool.
It is cool. But yes, so they're...
Pete Wiz, make it happen.
Combat Patrol, thank you very much. So Combat Patrol, essentially in the new 9th edition of Warhammer, they have new suggested levels of your games to keep them a little bit smaller than they used to be.
Okay.
Because it used to be just like, play 2,000 points, or, or whatever. So now, like, there are smaller versions of the game, so it's easier to get into the game, easier to play quicker games.
It's a trash fire emote. That's awesome.
That's great.
That's actually worth
And look,
it.
we have trash right here.
So, I've never seen as good a choo-choo train. That's really great.
Yes, and the board gets smaller, so you get into the action quicker. It's actually really cool, the fact that they've made these, that they're encouraging smaller games. So,
hold on 1 second.
Yes.
Dr. Love is the keyword, DRLOVE, to get Pete Wiz. I'm really grateful for all the heartbeats love you're giving
I don't think
us.
I would trust somebody named Dr. Love.
Okay, so to get the giveaway for our next giveaway, and if we get to 40, Scott's got a lot of shipping to do.
That's true, and that's fine. But yes, so they're swapping out. So these Start Collecting boxes are being retired, and they're introducing the new Combat Patrol boxes. So it's just a slightly different army in a box. But unfortunately, as you noted, they are not as good a deal as these have been. So if you are interested in starting a new army, you might want to look and see if there's a Start Collecting box out there for it. Pick it up before they go away. So
is it just going to boost the value of this now? Like, is this going to be a collectible that's going to be...
No, because these are everything in here you can buy separately.
I see.
But in the Start Collecting box, you got it at a slight discount, which is very rare for Games Workshop. This is one of the very few things that Games Workshop produces that buying it in a box
incentivizes you.
Is slightly cheaper than buying each thing individually.
Interesting. So just because this... It will not be like, oh, cool, remember the days?
Yeah. I mean, people have nostalgia for different sets that
they're
have come
so
out.
hyped.
So
who got it?
Yeah. So
not anyone. Zardoz said, I trust Dr. Love further than I trust Dr. Sixmeat.
Stick with us. Our numbers dropped, but they'll be back up in a second. The audio should still be good, so just stick with us for 1 second.
Oh, you know why? Because I'm trying to be on the internet.
It just once per hour it does this, but it will be back momentarily. I promise. It's like the internet. Yeah, I apologize. It's just our internet. Like I said, about once an hour it just dips for a minute, but it will be back.
I'll be back.
Stick with that. Now, I will say, I assume you can still hear us. That not all of the Start Collecting boxes were good ones.
Ooh! Mucilek!
Oh, nice!
How do you say it? Mucilech? Mucilech.
Mukelch?
Mukelch.
Because it's German, so I think you pronounce everything, but I'm not 100% sure.
Mukelch! Congratulations!
So if you are thinking of getting into the game or starting a new army, and you're looking at one of these Start Collecting boxes... Man, is that number going to pop up eventually? It should. Just ask somebody if it's a good one. Like, for instance, the Ork Start Collecting box. The Ork Collecting box actually is not a good way to start an Ork army.
Why?
Because of what's in it, you don't get enough of the core units that you want to begin an Ork army. It's a great addition to an Ork army, but not what you want at the very beginning.
I've been subscribed, so it doesn't
I know,
count.
yeah. But yes, Combat Patrol boxes. So the first 2 Combat Patrol boxes are on pre-order today for next week. Those are Death Watch and Space Wolves.
Okay.
Okay. No, wow, the number was back up to 900, and it just dropped down to...
It's not the worst. It's look, they can still see us. It's not the worst.
Yeah, well, and apparently it never affects audio. So... audio should still be good.
14 more subscribers to go. That is very exciting. Wow. We've talked a lot, and we are so excited, and we have a bunch of new followers and subscribers. Mm-hmm. It's very exciting. So you built this on Wednesday.
I did.
Why did you put these things out on the table for us today?
Well, because I heard that despite 9th edition being out for a little while, you still don't know how to play.
Then how did you say I understood the numbers? How could you give me that compliment and tell me I don't know how to play?
Well, that was 8th edition.
I'm behind.
You're at yes, and thank you so much for the subscription.
Oh, pick one! Hi.
So
now that is putting us.
Yeah, it's the podcast. I don't know why
Nice.
that number should. It did pop up and then it dropped back
What?
down. Our connection rate, it's terrible.
Can you boost? Can you put down the numbers?
No, see, it's rising now, so hopefully it'll continue to rise and stay steady.
Smooth.
Sorry about that. Like I said, usually it's like once an hour it does that and then comes back.
Oh, hi. I heard the Death Watch box includes units that don't get special ammunition, and that was Lord Talnak. Do you know him?
Yes.
Hi, Lord Talnak.
You know Talnak.
Do I?
Yes. Talnak, big supporter of Grimdark Dawn. Orks.
Yeah.
Another orc.
I'm sorry, I don't...
Oh, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
But yes. Yeah, both of those boxes... Both the Space Wolves box and the Death Watch box are a little weird for what they include. It seems like they really want you to get a bunch of boots on the ground to start your army and then move up from there.
Can you turn off the Wi-Fi on your phone? As Christy was saying.
I don't think that really.
I think it makes
that really affects things. But yeah, sure. Because normally we have everything run in.
So I don't know. I didn't realize I didn't know the right edition. When did the ninth edition come out?
Just a few months ago.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly.
How vastly different is it?
Not.
Okay.
It's basically an 8.5. Okay. That's the way that's why I'm describing it to people.
Did you think it was fair then that they did a new edition? What was the point of doing a new edition then?
They wanted to sell more stuff.
That was my question, veiled. What did they correct things or make things worse in your opinion?
They course corrected some things that I think were better. Okay,
have a fun Warhammer stream, Jackass. I know. And Twitch Dad, enjoy that. I miss ribs, just so you know. I do. Happy child noises are better than the alternative. Yes. Especially as a woman, they're distracting either way. You're like,
sure. Yeah, like what's happening?
Well, yeah, you just can't. Our ears are tuned to it.
So what happened was 7th edition. So we're going back a few years now. 7th edition was pretty complex. There was a lot of minutia, especially with things like vehicles. You had to. Every weapon had a descriptor that determined what its arc of fire was, and you had to measure everything out. And damaging vehicles had a bunch of extra charts and all of this minutia. And some people thrive on that and love it. Excuse me. What?
Ammunition?
Yes. So then 8th edition came around and they just simplified things to a pretty extreme degree. And all of a sudden, vehicles didn't really feel like vehicles in 8th edition. They just sort of felt like monsters. You could drive something up, and then even a gun that was pointing that way and was fixed could shoot anywhere. And so, yes, it made it simpler. It made it much easier to teach people. But it did lose some of the
intricacy that's enjoyable.
So in this edition, they've added a little bit of that back. For some things, vehicles now can do some cool stuff. And they redid how the morale phase works.
Oh.
So yeah, and it's essentially it's the same game as 8.5 or as 8, just with a few specific new things.
Cool. I'm into it.
Cool. Yeah. So would you like to kind of a little bit. So would you like to play a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. And this thing you can play it as a Space Marine army, but it's not very good because it just sits in your starting area and it can't move.
Got it.
It can do a couple of interesting things, but as long as your opponent can...
You can get points for killing it, though, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. But as long as your opponent has any line of sight blocking terrain, they don't have to worry about this at all.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's called a hammer fall bunker, and Space Marines love to drop things out of the sky, so we all thought, oh, cool, it's going to be able to, like, crash down. And no.
They have to build it.
Yeah.
That is dumb. That is dumb. Because it looks like it should be able to go like like a tripod or something.
Yeah, or something, but no.
I would love for this to be like cranking it. Like, you see that? It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And if you build it the right way, the turret can move on top and the missiles can go up and down.
Pete says it's a decoration that maybe does things.
Yes. Yeah, I mean it's going to be great for terrain on the table.
Oh, that's good that you can move it, because then that is... Oh.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's ribbed.
I'm destructive.
It's ribbed, so
for her pleasure.
It holds on well when you turn it.
Tourniquet.
Okay. I'll get rid of that. Don't turn off my lights, bro.
Funny though. Funny idea. Oh, hi, Arwen. Yeah, Arwen.
Now the cat is getting into the game.
I know, she loves you.
That is my cat.
Hi, Arwen. Hi, Speakers.
No, she'll jump in here. We don't want.
I know. Hi, Lotus.
Okay, so we have Susan's secondhand supply shop.
My cat named Arwen.
I know that.
Your cat is named Arwen. That's right.
Are we counting hi buddies? Yeah.
Because typically every day,
at
least
say
one
hi,
of them
buddy.
will come in and say.
That's pretty cute.
And I'll say hi, buddy. Okay. So you have your army.
Sure.
We don't need that guy.
So this is Dreadlord Herc gave me this.
Yes.
And I will never stop working on it, meaning that I haven't finished it yet. But every time I work on it, I'm even more proud of it.
Nice.
We've got cool copper going on. We got cool silver going on. And there's so many details, you know. There's so much more to improve on. But I don't hate it. Good. But this is making me feel inadequate. So
it's amazing. Yeah. Oh, and Darrow also painted this for me.
I had a feeling. This is incredible.
You had a feeling because it's something that I'm playing that's actually painted. So somebody else must have done it for me.
No, it's the quality.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I mean,
actually, who did this?
Not me.
Who did that, though?
Somebody at the local store a long time ago.
Oh, okay. I'm into it, though. It's pretty cool.
There was a whole era of Emperor's Children that was how they looked. So that was...
Oh.
Yeah. It's changed a little bit over the years, but essentially...
definitely 80s.
Yeah.
Or like early 90s.
They want it to be like super garish.
Yeah.
The best part is the zebra.
Yeah, I clocked it. That's very actually early 2000s. But
it's an eyesore, but that's the way it's supposed
to be.
This
is cool because you like pink and purple a lot. So
well, that's why I like.
2 years of watching Grimdark Dawn. I don't know how to play, so I'm so here for this. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
great,
awesome. Okay, so the first thing you need to do when you want to play Warhammer is download a third-party app called Battlescribe. It sounds silly, but Warhammer 40K does actually have its own app right now. And it's terrible. Which is shocking because there's an Age of Sigmar app, and Age of Sigmar is Warhammer's fantasy game, and that one has a really good app. And for some reason, the 40K app is not good. Anyway, Battlescribe app is the way that literally 99% of Warhammer 40K players make their lists, make their armies. The professional 40K players who go and play in tournaments, they make their lists in Battlescribe. If you want to do a quick game at home, use Battlescribe. It's a little bit complex just because it has so much information in it, but that's
wild.
Otherwise, it's a lot of math, it's a lot of calculations, and who needs that? You can just do it all right there in the program. So I have created lists in Battlescribe, and you can get HTML versions so you can print them out. You get your data sheets, all your important information.
Oh,
all
and
in one place.
If it wasn't clear, we need Muklek, Mukelch, and Zardoz to whisper at you for with your addresses.
Rabid Wombat was the first.
That's what I meant.
Okay.
Sorry,
yes.
Rabid. Not sorry, Zardoz.
Whisper me. Yeah. So.
I'm with you, that Billy Duck. I'm a paper person too.
You could also do Battlescribe on desktop. I've never done it that way. It's so easy to do it in the app.
Yeah, word.
New stream idea. Jess reads off chat names.
It's hard for me.
I had a couple of really good ones the other day. There was one.
It's not my strong suit.
That's fine. I got a new viewer, and the name, it looked like the name was Ugly. And I was like, I hope this isn't right, but it looks like it's Ugly. And then I think they corrected me that it was like Oogly. I was like, oh, okay. That's much better than me calling somebody ugly.
Couch, it's not a stupid name. No. It's my literacy. It's my ability. This is something we go through when we do Dune. So,
Max, do you want to go get the haunted houses?
Oh yeah, I have to chuckle a bit. He has your address, but just to remind Scott, he's gonna do it. Although he won't.
Rabid Wombat is a incredible supporter, not only of me but of my wife and the soaps. He loves the soaps, so he frequently.
I smell good today because of the soaps. I am a soap. My favorite is the cornflower blue. Cornflower.
That's
lavender.
A lot of people's favorite.
It's my faves. I love it. I mean, I love all of it. I mean, it's just so good. I don't know
if there's any around, but okay. So we made our list in Battlescribe, and yeah, the reason why Battlescribe is so good, again, essentially you pick what unit you want, you add it to your list. It tells you what all the options are as far as weapons, additional things. If you do something wrong, a orange exclamation mark appears in the corner. You can click on it. It tells you what you did wrong. It tracks the points or the power level, depending on how you're building your army. It's great. Highly, highly recommend it. They just updated it 2 days ago with all of the new stuff, so it's rocking. Okay, each of our armies has 3 units to keep it relatively simple. You ready for this?
No.
Let's go. You have your papers. Make sure you have your papers. So
I don't need Battlescribe. You got it for me.
Correct. Yeah, you don't need it up right now.
Okay.
So I gave you. So you're 21 power level. I'm 18. It's close enough. Doesn't matter. So there are 2 ways of building armies in Warhammer. There are points and there is power level. Points are for tournament players and people who are really obsessed with balance. Is this army exactly balanced against your army? Does one of us have an advantage? Which is silly because it depends on what you play. You might have an advantage anyway that's not based on that number.
And the points aren't not equitable, but you could still strategically change your outcome whether points are involved or not. Meaning Warhammer obviously ascribes points in fairness.
They try at least. Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you can't win with a bunch of orc army boys.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
And again, if you show up with an army that's all melee and your opponent brings an all ranged army and then shoots you before you can get across the table, points doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But yes, points are what I like to call very granular. So when you build an army with points, you not only pay for a unit has points, and the unit can be 1 model, it can be 30 models, depending on what we're talking about. But you pay points for the model, you pay points for every weapon on the model, you pay points for additional things that add to it, and so it's just a lot to keep track of. Now, if you're playing with power level, this unit has a power level, no matter what it has, no matter what weapons it has on it, no matter what additions, it just has a power level. Move on. So much easier, so much quicker, so much better for bringing new people in. Now, is it balanced? No. Because again, if I was to play this, the base version, that would cost a low amount of points. And if I added a bunch of upgrades, it would cost more points. Power level, the same thing costs the same power level either way. So yes, if you are not a nice person, you could play a power level game and add every single upgrade to every single unit, and you'd be a jerk. Could you play that way? Sure. And that's always what people say, like, oh, don't play power level. It's not balanced. People can abuse it. Well, yeah, if you're playing against assholes, but if you're playing against friends,
or just trying to strategy and have fun,
and you're playing a narrative game where you want things that are like the units in the books, then
it's like that jerk that you invite to like board game night, and you're like, here, let's play this game that I'm just going to teach you about right now. I'm going to whoop all you guys. Yes. It's different. Like, are you playing for fun? Are you playing for competition? Yes. It's so funny. We have Michael the Cinephile in our chat, and he's like, wow, Jessica, really great sportsmanship. And you know what? My sportsmanship is bad, but it's because it's fun for me to pretend like I hate the person when I've
Yeah.
lost, or it's fun to act like I've,
Yeah.
But there's no malice there,
Right.
and I'm not cheating.
Right. Yeah.
I am going to use the restroom though.
Okay. You are free to do that. Go ahead. And what's interesting is that Games Workshop introduced power level in 8th edition. And again, there were a lot of players, especially those older players who'd been in the game a long time and the more power gamer types, who were very much against it. Oh, this is going to destroy the game. This is terrible, blah, 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 blah. And come to find out, in this new 9th edition, Games Workshop is really pushing power level. There's a whole new way to play the game in sort of narrative campaigns that is all based on power level. So, and then those same people are now having to like figure out how to convert those those lists and those rules from power level back to their points versions. And it's kind of funny to see that. Because yeah, Crusade, it's this whole way of playing a game, and it's super cool. Most of us have not yet been able to really play a Crusade campaign yet, but essentially you build an army and then you start playing games and you keep track of pretty much everything that happens during the game. But say this unit scores a kill. Well, I'm going to write that down. And this unit and your army are going to accumulate points, essentially experience points. Points that you can spend on upgrades and all sorts of really cool and really interesting and really thematic narrative stuff that is just super fun. Really, really great stuff. I can't wait to play like a full Crusade campaign one day post pandemic, when I can play with a bunch of people. I mean, Jessica and I could do it if she is interested. This is our last day, friends. This is it. This is the last day.
Ow! He felt the pain I just caused you.
Yes. But again, there are lots of different levels you can
people
play.
might want to watch me floss my teeth.
I'm sure there's some people who very much want to watch that. Okay.
I have to do it for my teeth health.
Sure. So you have a 21 power level army. I have an 18 power level army. What does that mean? Well, it's arbitrary because, again, different armies will have units that are worth varying amounts of points and what you play. So it's basically you just want to come up with some sort of balance, one thing to the other. We each have 3 units.
Yes.
I assigned you're the Snake Bites clan, which is a cool thing. Essentially, you can try to ignore wounds that you take.
Okay.
Sort of like those disgusting Death Guard.
We hate them.
We do.
The only fans that would be $15 per tooth, probably Tiny Crisp.
Definitely a.
Also, it's in theme with the Orks. I should have brought my teeth.
Well,
it's pretty gross.
Yes, we love some Death Guard players, but we hate the Death Guard. I think that's a fair thing to say.
I think it's a fair thing to say.
Yeah. When Benjamin was very young, that was when 8th edition was coming out, and 8th edition was all about Space Marines versus Death Guard, whereas the new one is all about Space Marines versus Necrons.
Why is it different?
Oh, just so they can highlight a different army and sell more models. But so at the time 8th edition came around, I had a bunch of things around promotional stuff that had Death Guard on it. So he was seeing pictures of Death Guard models. So instead of calling them Death Guard, we call them Gross Marines. So to this day, he's like, "Oh, those are Gross Marines, right?"
Sweet.
Yes, they are.
That's really cute.
They are.
That's really cute.
All right, so you are Snake Bites. You have a war boss. That is this fella right here. Fella being loosely because orcs don't have gender. They are fungus. Sentient fungus.
They call themselves fella though.
They do call themselves boys and such things.
Yeah.
So again, if you look at a data sheet, it'll give you all the information you need to know about that specific unit. Again, a unit can be one model. It can be a bunch of models. It just depends on what that unit is.
Great. Understood. We're going. We're doing it. We're here.
So your unit here, your war boss, has a bunch of stuff. He's got a couple of special rules because he's a leader in your army. Mm-hmm. He buffs nearby people for their morale tests. Now, there's something new that was just added to 9th edition. It wasn't even in 9th edition at the beginning, but they just added it. It used to be that these so-called aura effects or bubble effects, these buffs that leaders could give, they used to apply to anything in that aura. Vehicles, monsters, themselves, they would buff themselves. No longer. Now they only buff things that have the core keyword. And core is a very limited keyword. It's mostly like your basic infantry types of things. So that has shifted the meta quite a bit.
Meta
for us, it
meaning
doesn't
what?
matter. People who play like tournament level play.
I see.
Because all of a sudden now they have to rebuild their army because they're not getting the buffs they wanted on all the units.
Wow.
And they don't have their overlapping. Not negatively. It's just something that we now have to learn how to play without it.
Got it.
Yes. What was... Yes, Solkatu. Orks are sentient fungus, which is part of the reason why they are so pernicious and why every other race hates them. Because if you have an orc army in front of you, not only do you have to kill them, but you have to then burn every trace of them, or... Thank you so much. Or the spores will grow new ones.
On the war?
And you'll be screwed.
Okay, and that will happen here? I could do that?
No, they don't
It's
actually
just
have
the
rules for that.
story.
It's just narratively. Yes. But it is fun. Oh, is that... I think your phone is making a crackle. The microphone.
Okay.
But I appreciate the gesture. Is it better now with the... Oh, you screwed it up. Move it further. Take it further away. I'm moving over there. Is it better now? Better? Okay. Yeah, phones and microphones don't...
Forgot.
It's a thing. Yeah, okay, so your dude here. So he can buff other people. He has... Yeah. Okay, so then you have a stat line on your data sheet. So it'll say the name of the unit. It'll tell you if your unit has more than one model in it. So that War Boss is one model in that unit, just like my Chaos Lord is one model in the unit. And then it gives you the following information. You ready? Taking notes?
Aren't I?
You know all this stuff. Movement. How far that model can move, or that unit can move in inches. And yes, this is a British game, but it is in inches, which I always thought was centimeters. I always thought that was odd.
I always thought
But
2
maybe it's just me.
centimeters equaled an inch.
No.
I thought this for some time.
No.
I thought this for quite some time. I thought a half inch was like 2 centimeters or something like that. What is this? Oh gosh, there's no correlation.
No. They're just different.
This is heartbreaking. Heartbreaking.
It's pretty crazy.
So what's fascinating is that people see, we just see things and thank you. We are bigger because we see things in inches.
Right.
They are smaller because they see things in centimeters.
Yes. So if you hear something that it.
Got it. Ooh.
Right.
Ooh.
Like yeah.
Wait.
Like how many it resets.
What is 1? What is that? What is that? 10? 10 centimeters?
And then it resets. Just to, I don't know why.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh, it's easier.
Because it's
29, 31.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So 31. 30 is 1 foot.
Okay.
And that would be big.
Yeah, sure. So yeah,
That's
so
too
it's
big.
different.
It's too big.
I mean, it's a foot. Yeah.
That's too big.
Well, sure. I'm not disagreeing with
wants
that. No. I mean, you could see that on the internet if you want, but nobody wants that.
No one.
Yeah, this is an official WB Warner Brothers property.
Uh-oh.
So
important.
Where were we? Yes, movement. Excuse me.
Oh, Butcher 42. Hi.
So you have a movement stat. 6 inches is standard for infantry who's just sort of walking across.
Is that?
That's a good question. 6 inches is a little bit more than 15.
Good to know.
Yeah.
I had a dream about meat guns the other night, and it was a lot.
I'm sorry. Of
meat guns.
Meat guns.
Imagine.
Okay.
That particular plumbing, but like as though they were like guns. It was like horrific.
Okay.
They were attached. They just looked like that. It was. It wasn't a good dream.
Fair. Yes. So yeah, 6 inches is standard movement for just regular people on foot. If you're more heavily armed, you might be a little bit slower. So what is the movement of your war boss?
3 hours later. Say that again.
Your movement for your war boss
is 5 inches.
5 inches, because he's overloaded with equipment and armor.
So he can't move that fast.
So he's a little bit slower.
Got it.
Now there are ways of going faster, which we'll talk about when we get into the game. Now you have 2 ways of attacking. Either with a melee weapon or shooting.
And the range isn't amazing, but it's not bad.
Well, yeah, we're not into the actual weapons yet. We're just into the stats of the unit.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
So essentially, when you're trying to attack with a melee weapon, you're going to look at your weapon skill.
Oh, okay.
Which is the next one. And then if you're shooting, you need to look at the ballistic skill. Straightforward. And then again, in this edition, it'll give you a number and a plus, and that's just what you need to roll in order to hit.
2 or better. 5 or better.
Right, exactly. So my Chaos Lord here hits in melee on a 2+ and hits shooting on a 2+. So he's equally good at hitting something up close and shooting. All I need is a 2 or better, so I only miss on a 1. Now that's a very good stats for a character.
Oh my god, I could design them for 3D printing.
Meat guns? Sure. I mean,
guys.
Yeah. Mr. John is here!
Hi, Mr. John.
John from Grimdark Dawn.
Oh! Friend John. Hi, John.
Another Warhammer player.
The cutie patootie who we had a good time playing with. I played with him.
Yeah.
He's my war boss boy.
That's right. Yes, now most units don't have a 2-up to hit everything.
So if you are hitting, it doesn't matter who you are against, you need a 2 or plus better to hit.
Yes, exactly.
Just to hit, but not to wound.
Right, so real quick, when it comes to attacking in this game, first you roll to hit, then you roll to wound, and then your opponent gets to roll for their armor save. So there are 3 sets of rolls for every attack. Potentially, there are some things that will affect that. So again, yeah, essentially think of it as I'm shooting a shotgun at you. A meat gun shotgun at you. Right? 5 pellets are going to fly out at you. I'm going to roll 5 dice. So for each thing that is shooting at you, I'm going to roll a die to see if they hit. Then I look and see how many hit. Then those I'm going to re-roll to see they hit you. But did they have enough force and they hit you in the right place to wound you?
To go through the armor
Right. So then I'm going to roll those to see how many wound. And then I'll say, okay, well, only one of them was a good enough hit to potentially wound you. Then you're going to roll your save, which is typically an armor save, to see if your armor stopped it from wounding you.
So that's actually an interesting question. And I don't know that I clocked it before. You are shooting against my armor, though? Or my strength?
No, so first...
hold on. It hits. And then you throw the next set of dice.
Yeah, that's to wound.
To wound.
Yes.
What are you rolling against?
Good. So that's against your toughness.
Not against my armor.
Right.
So my toughness is... So that's interesting, though.
Yes.
Because the armor should already affect that.
But it doesn't.
It doesn't
affect... Well... But think about it this way. So so Warhammer splits up stats in a way that's a little bit different than most things that people are familiar with. So you have a toughness stat, and all toughness says is, if I'm getting hit with something, what is the likelihood that it's not going to hurt me?
Got it.
And then that's separate from, and also what type of armor am I wearing, and can that shrug off whatever might be hurting?
And toughness could be all sorts of things, like your agility or
your
strength. Yeah, got it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's it's partly
semantics.
Yes.
And
again, also unlike other games, your toughness, your armor has nothing to do with your actual hit points. That is a separate stat, and that is your wounds.
But if you were playing D&D, your armor then directly contributes to the amount of health
right.
You have.
It does it differently.
Yeah. So if someone's toughness is 5 and I need a 2 or better to hit, I still only need the 2 or better to hit them.
Right, to hit.
But does it wound them? We don't know yet.
Right, and we'll get to that in just a second.
Right, yeah. I always love to jump.
Yes. So your stats, so we have movement, we have weapon skill and ballistic skill, and that's just what you need to roll in order to hit. Then you have every unit has unit strength and toughness. So that is the strength only comes into play when you're in melee. So essentially it's how hard you can punch or hit with a weapon. Your toughness is, again, how resistant you are to being wounded. So when you are, so when you're rolling to wound, you're rolling against the unit's toughness. Just looking at a couple basic things across the board. Space Marines have toughness 4. Humans have toughness 3. If you are if you are a particularly weak human, you'll have toughness 2. That's really bad. Monsters and things will have anywhere up from toughness 6 or 7. Big tanks will have toughness 8. So that's generally the range of how toughness works.
Pete's right, and it is good to remind you guys, if we get to 40 subs, which is just 14 away, we'll do our 3rd giveaway.
Do we have 14 people watching who aren't subbed right now?
Well, we have people who are so kindly gifting.
Well, that's true, yes.
But also, he's right. If you guys want to tweet about this right now, we still have another hour to go.
That's true. Yeah, we can definitely get more people.
I saw your Tamagotchi.
Oh,
very cute. But yeah, so go.
Sure.
The more people we have in here, the more likely you're going to win something. And then there's another tier after 40. We're just not going to tell you until we hit it. But yeah, there's no.
That we don't have that one here.
Good to know. But yeah, this is we're having a blast. This is already a success.
Yes.
So thanks for everyone for being here. And if you are new to the channel, just make sure you give us a follow at the very least. So
you know when I'm on next. So your toughness is just a score, and again that just determines how hard it is to wound you, to get through and potentially hurt you.
It's a great question with Undead Satan's fan. Question with the movement phase: is it better to have it pre-marked, which I don't know what that means, on the battlefield?
Right. So a lot of games have, when you play on a board, it'll have squares that are marked out, like HeroClix, for instance. HeroClix you play on a gridded board. Other games might have hexes. If you play D&D, you might play in either one of those or another kind. Warhammer doesn't use that. You are allowed to pre-measure everything when you play Warhammer, which again is something that other games don't let you do that. You have to declare an attack.
Like when we played HeroClix, and I had to hope that my trajectory wasn't going to run me into something.
Right. And in other games, like, you declare an attack before you measure, and then if you find out that it can't reach, then you wasted that attack. Warhammer's not that way. You are encouraged to pre-measure everything, and so you'll see people measure this, and you're trying to figure out what they're trying to figure out based on where they're measuring. It's fun. But to answer your question, though, it's, even though a unit will have a movement listed on their data sheet, you can still do other types of movements with that unit. So for instance, when it gets to the movement phase, you have the opportunity to move every unit in your army if you want to. Every unit can either stay still, can move up to your maximum movement score, or you can advance, and that's when you declare, I'm going to advance with this character, and you roll 1d6 and add that to their movement stat. So essentially, even though a unit may have a standard 6-inch movement, there's all sorts of other movements they're going to be able to do during the game. Now, you could, if you want, play on a 1-inch gridded map and then be able to sort of eyeball things that way. That's fine. Some people do that. But in general, it's just, there's so much you need to do with measuring tape anyway, then, it doesn't help you in every situation.
So we're on the movement phase, and then what?
How many fingers have cuts from the measuring tape? Yeah, you got to try to not...
I've never cut myself on measuring tape.
Really?
And I know everyone's like, watch your hands.
You haven't used measuring tape enough. For sure.
I resent that comment.
Okay. I'm kidding. That's fine. You're allowed to. Or do you always use like the soft ribbon?
No. I've done my fair share of set building.
That's true.
To have used it, but I think I'm smart at it.
Okay. That's fair. That is certainly fair. Then you have your wounds. So that's like your hit points. Now, most units, most models in the game, like an orc boy here, have 1 wound. Most people, whatever race they are, have 1 wound. Now, not everybody. Space Marines are now all 2 wounds. So suck on that, every other army.
Why?
Because, they're transhuman. They're tougher, they're bigger, they're stronger.
They're
more powerful. They did go up in points, though. So now playing at the same level, the same size army, you're gonna have fewer models. So there's a trade-off. There is a balance there. Yeah. So most people have 1 wound. Now, leaders will have more wounds. Tanks obviously will have a whole bunch of wounds. Vehicles and things like that.
I'm just admiring my handiwork.
Then you have an attack number, and that's how many times you can attack in melee only. It only has to do with melee. So a unit's strength and melee and attacks are just for melee. And then you have leadership, which will come to the morale phase when you see essentially, have I done enough damage to your unit that the people who are left are going to run away because they're so scared of what I've done. Obviously, a higher leadership score is better. And then you have your save, which is your armor save, which you'll roll against taking wounds from an attack. Yeah, and it sends fans. We'll see how our friends do with the new rules. Okay, so that's your stats for your unit itself, and then you have your weapons. Now again, it'll vary greatly depending on what type of unit you're talking about, what type of weapons it will have. Some will be melee, and it'll say right here, so like power fist. This guy has a power fist. It is only usable in melee, and it'll tell you what it does. Everything else is ranged. So looking at the weapons, it'll tell you what the weapon is called. It'll give you its range. So obviously if there's no range, then it's melee. And then it'll have a type. Thank you for the follow. It's a me, Bondo.
Oh, hi, Bondo. Nice to see you. I'm just going to move that up a little bit.
Okay. So type is very important. When you're shooting different types of guns, there are different things that they can do. Every weapon has a type, just like every person has a type. There are rapid fire guns that if you're closer, they can shoot more.
I'm just thinking about me guns. Sorry.
Sure. There are assault weapons that you can shoot even after running, and normally you can't do that. There are heavy weapons that you really want to stand still and shoot.
You can't move on your movement term.
Yeah, you still can.
Unless
you just have a penalty.
Yeah.
There are grenades that you throw. There are pistols that you can only shoot. Additionally, in certain times. So anyway, so you just need to learn what the different types are. And then so each one will have. So each weapon has a strength. So that's what you compare to the enemy's toughness when you're trying to wound. Your strength comes into play when you're doing a melee weapon that refers to your strength.
What about your length?
That's what this is. But not centimeters, only inches. And then once you do wound, and then there's armor penetration, and then the actual damage that the weapons do. Most weapons deal 1 damage. So again, a 1 damage attack will kill an orc boy. It will not kill a space marine anymore. You need 2 damage to kill a space marine. So again, heavier weapons will do more damage, etc., etc., but we can go into that as we go. So that's basically the data sheet. Now there are all sorts of special things that'll come up, but you just need to learn those as you learn your army.
I am so thirsty. The desert is so dry. No, you know what it is? I think I really enjoy acting like a 14-year-old boy. I really enjoy it.
Sure.
But you don't discourage it.
I don't know.
It's fun.
It's fine. Somebody who... Oh, it was somebody... It might have been Squirrel. I think it was Squirrel who was... Because their dads get a bad rap about, like, being conservative and not talking about certain things. And Squirrel... I think it was Squirrel. It may have been somebody else. But it was essentially like, no, dads are, like, the dirtiest, most perverted people. And I was like, 100%. So
I believe it. I
keep things quiet when there are kids who are within earshot, for sure.
Fair enough.
No.
Fair enough. Also, if you're just joining us, make sure you give the follow button a hit. And also, if we're 14 subscribers away from a third giveaway of the day. RPG sketchy. Oh, there it is. So I was raised, my father like favored me because he wanted a boy first, but then I came out and he's like, this will do. And ended up having 2 boys. But then we had our uncles from New Jersey live with us. And I think even though they were like, they never tempered their behaviors around us, but I wasn't allowed to behave that way. The boys were.
Okay.
And so I think there's a part of me. So there was
still,
yeah, ladies couldn't, the girls couldn't date the brother's sister, and girls can't fart, and so I think part of me, the way I'm reacting to it now is, well, what if I did this?
Sure,
stuff now?
You're making up for lost time.
Yeah, and I don't love it. Like,
that.
I don't really want to fart in front of people. Do you know what I mean? But why do I feel so embarrassed about it? Because I was taught to feel that way.
Right.
Anyway.
Okay. So get your army where you want it. You can ignore what's actually printed on the board. I just grabbed something just to have it look.
Girls can't date their brother or sister. Did I say that?
We know what you meant.
They're brothers.
You want to start your boys over there?
Yeah.
Might as well.
Where you're coming from that? We're just
yeah. I'll set it up that way. You can leave them there.
I thought you said set them up.
Where would you like them?
What did you ask me to do?
But then I asked if they're okay over there.
I didn't understand.
That's fine.
Yes, they're fine here.
Okay. Now when you play an actual game of Warhammer 40K, you'll pick a mission to play, and that will tell you. That sounds like a bunch of candy on the ground.
Sure did.
That will tell you where to set up your armies, where to set up any objectives. Most games in Warhammer are objective-based. Hello. Hey, Serenity. So there'll be certain locations on the board that you need to capture and control. And essentially, that just means you need models there when the round turns over. But right now, we're just going to shoot at each other and have some fun.
That's objective.
Well, I'm going to have fun. They're going to have fun.
That's forcing them.
No, that's what they came here for.
Okay, Dad, we'll have fun. You're going to like it.
Yes, we have Good Soup Export right here.
It's pretty cool. Oh, Dreadlord Herc. When's the last time you saw it? Can you see?
Yeah.
Look.
That's good.
We're getting there.
And yeah, as Talnak said, there are cards you can buy. There are a couple of different books that have all of these different missions to give you a different feel for your game. It's great. But you can also just play just to shoot at each other. That's fine as well. So Jessica has.
Oh, Janelle Santa Cruz.
Thank you so much. Pizza.
What are the kids going to be dressed as? What are they going to be dressed as?
Did you see the picture from yesterday?
I did. Pretty cute.
Yes, so the little one was dressed yesterday as Baby Yoda.
Be cute.
He was so cute.
You should drop a pic in Homebuddies. Homebuddies Discord.
Well, I did in the show and tell room, which I know not everybody.
But if you guys aren't following the Homebuddies Discord,
yes, definitely. Yeah, if you are not part of our Discord, join the Homebuddies Discord because it's not just me. I have awesome stuff, but I'm part of a whole group of awesome people, including
that's subjective, but about my coolness.
But what's great about the Homebuddies is that we have 6 people who are stream totally different things, different times of day. So wherever you are in the world, we've got content for you, different times, and it's all sorts of different stuff.
And Janelle and Andy and Cam do
Janelle,
watch
Cameron, Emma. Yep, we got everybody.
Yep, we should.
All the cool people.
Okay, so they're organized now.
Okay, good. So you have a squad of 30 orc boys.
Is that 30?
30.
That's 30?
It's 30.
Doesn't look like it. No, I'm not questioning. It just,
Benjamin and I counted that.
I understand. It's not a question. It just,
I'm just letting you
doesn't look like 30.
Well, okay. It's 29 boys and 1 knob.
I'm saying this is crazy that this width is 30. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
The length of this?
How many centimeters is that?
Oh, too many.
Okay.
Janelle Sub makes 13. We're getting there.
We're almost there. Okay, you have a war boss. He is your leader.
Yes. But he's also a unit.
Yes, correct. He's a separate unit.
This is a unit. This thing from the Dreadlord Herc gave me is a unit.
Yeah, so I always forget the name of this one, but it is...
A Boom Shaka Wagon.
Yeah, the orc stuff has just the best names. Boom Daka Snazwagon.
Boom Daka Snazwagon.
Okay. I only have this many models. So my...
Girthy 30.
My units cost a lot more per model than the stuff that you're using generally. So I have a Chaos Lord. typical leader for a Chaos Space Marine army.
It's crazy that they use guitars. It's just ridiculous.
I have so I'm playing the Emperor's Children. We'll talk about lore on other days.
Hi, Bandy.
You saw just
Baby Yoda. The pic is just so cute. Actually, Janelle, can you? Oh, I guess you can't link it to there because you just have to join.
Yeah.
The.
I can.
That's cool.
Put it up. Somewhere.
Hi, mommy. Hi, daddy. Hi.
Hello.
I'm the worst mommy you've ever had. Or am I like Madeline Stillwell from The Boys? I could be like that mommy.
How far are you in the series?
Very far.
Good.
Not finished.
Okay.
But I just found out something about Liberty.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And.
Yes.
But that's literally where I just stopped.
Okay.
So.
I'll tell you all about the comics after.
I actually would probably be interested in reading it. Okay, never mind. But
No.
Okay, good to know.
No.
Because I will say it's just so well done as a show.
Yes.
Got it. So that's good to know.
That's a topic for another.
All right. We got some Warhammer to talk about here on Warhammer Day.
Yeah. So again, we'll do lore talk another time because I can literally talk forever about the lore and what's new in the lore and what they've been changing the lore. And let me tell you, in a recent novel, they just changed a massive point that we have known about for 30 years in the lore. And in the new novel, they're like, nope,
Why?
It was this other thing. And it blew everybody's minds.
Well, that feels like very 1984 to me.
I mean,
I know it's
they've
fiction,
got to
but...
continue adding new stuff to the... And we don't know how it's going to play out with... It's basically it's ancient history within the world, but it could affect what's happening currently. And it's crazy. It's wild. It's like shaking things up. Yes. But so anyway, there are Space Marines who they fight for the Imperium of Man, which sounds very heroic.
Sure. But they're not.
Well, they are mostly. One thing that we should mention is, for those of you who are new to Warhammer 40K, it takes place in the year, well, we're in like the year 42 something or other. We're in the 42nd millennium, M42. It's complicated. But humanity has expanded out into the stars. They've made transhuman warriors called Space Marines to go and fight their wars for them, essentially. They've come across alien races like Orks, like Necrons, which are essentially sentient robots. A whole massive group of humans have fallen to worshiping chaos demons, chaos gods. They are corrupted. They are sort of traditionally quote-unquote evil. But a lot of times, people who are new to this setting ask, who are the good guys, who are the bad guys? And what do we say to that? We say, there is no such thing as good guys in Warhammer 40K. There are more heroic factions, but none of them are exactly good guys. Even the good factions are xenophobic, borderline fascist, caste systems, but it's all sort of like what they've had to do in order to survive. And yeah, so essentially, like, it's interesting to play in this world and play with these characters, but if you ever come across somebody who like really idolizes the factions in 40K, stay away from those people.
That's really good to know. You can tell when people are intense, like, too much, right?
Yes.
Like I want to be friends with the people that are like, I still like Friends. I see that there are problems. Shut up about it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But we don't want to be like, it's good. You know, like you can't. I don't know. You don't want to be too PC so that people just anyway.
Yeah. Well, it's like there's a meme that goes around and I really appreciate it. It's the you missed the point in idolizing the main character starter pack, and it's Rick from Rick and Morty. It's Patrick Bateman from American Psycho.
I'm getting called out in chat. I'm having a problem.
What's
strategy? Like actually paying attention. They're saying that I shouldn't be tucking my shirt in. I'm not. I'm doing a French tuck. Doing the Tam France. Okay, or Tam. Yeah, that's his last name. French tuck.
Okay.
Because I'm a little bloated, so I'm trying to look thin. Thanks. And then everyone's like, "Oh, Jessica's using the light mode." It's only on my phone. I use the dark mode on my actual phone, on my actual computer.
Okay.
Hi, Bilda. Nice to see ya.
Builder us. We love Builder us.
I just got a Tan France and a French duck. And he's one. Anyway, carry on.
You lost me on that one.
It's the Queer Eye.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a Giuliani. Oh, it was a Giuliani. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I was like, I was a Giuliani. I read it wrong. I thought it was an exclamation point.
Too.
But
it was the
it's a Giuliani.
You gotta yeah. Completely derailed my train of thought.
I'm sorry,
yeah.
it derailed
no,
mine.
it's fine. But yeah, it's the idea of like if you get too into something without recognizing that characters are problematic and understanding that within that world a character might be a hero, but you're not supposed to identify with that character necessarily. It's sort of like that.
I think that I was talking about Jess last night that heroes are flawed, and that makes them interesting.
Sure.
And I think what we need to be able to do more clearly, though, especially as a society, is talk about the flaws outwardly. It's like, hey, you don't want to be that bad version of that person,
right?
You know,
well,
don't
idealize
that.
And in some cases, the hero of a story is terrible, is despicable. It's not somebody you want to idolize in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
Yes. So anyway, back to me. I have a Chaos Lord who is leading my very small army. I have a unit of Noise Marines. What are Noise Marines? Very simply put, the Chaos army that I play is the Emperor's Children. They are devoted to the god/goddess Slanesh. They are all about excess and experiences and rocking out and...
Muche, if you watch the most recent Borat movie, or if you look up a scene about Rudy Giuliani, you'll know.
So they have sonic weapons, which are really cool and fun. And then I have, joining them, a Sonic Dreadnought, which is... Long story short, when a Space Marine is mortally wounded in battle, but is not quite dead, and they get to him just in time, they can preserve the broken, shattered body. They put it literally in a sarcophagus inside a giant robot, and they're trapped in there for eternity, in pain and suffering, but they get to continue to serve, even past death.
Like RoboCop.
Yeah, very much like RoboCop. But worse.
No, I understand.
Yes. Oh, and if you've ever heard the term Grimdark, Grimdark comes from Warhammer 40k, because the opening lines of every book, everything ever written is in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. So grimdark comes from that. And yes, it is, being in a dreadnought is really freaking grimdark.
Is there a specific size amount that constitutes what is a unit for each type of character?
Good question. No, and it'll tell you on the data sheets what a unit consists of. And again, if it's so units are also divided up into essentially classes, and that's for army building, because you can build your army according to certain rules, and that gets you certain bonuses in the game. So HQ units are generally your leaders, and those are almost always one model for an HQ. Troops is another main part of your army. Those are like your standard infantry. Troops are always more than one, typically 5 or 10 or multiples thereof. But then other things can be 3, or it just depends on the unit. But that's all in your data sheets, which will be in your codex, or again, just use Battlescribe.
What do I need to know so that we can actually play one round?
You have everything you need to know.
Let's do it.
Okay. So
because we have 30 minutes.
Okay.
I think it's just enough to do like a speed round.
Sure, for sure. Yeah, I'll put you guys over there. And again, when you play a real mission, there are rules for where everything starts. We are just having fun.
We are still hammering the war. We are still waiting for 13 more subscriptions for the third giveaway of the day as a celebration of Warhammer Day and a celebration of brand new Warhammer weekend streams with Scott and occasionally Jessica.
Roll one of this.
Wait. Andy's a stinky poop head.
You won.
Okay.
So you get to go first. These dice were very expensive.
Well, we're going to poop it out soon.
These are the original Emperor's Children Forge World dice. There are newer ones that are less expensive. These were very expensive. No, it's fine. It was a funny joke, but yes, I go hard with my... I even commissioned a custom dice bag for my...
Owl? What's his name?
Gray like storms? Anyway, yes.
I have mine.
Custom. Yes, you do. Okay, so you're gonna go first. So, a turn around in Warhammer is divided up into phases for ease of remembering where everything goes. First is the first thing that's new in this edition is there is a command phase. The first thing that happens.
Ow.
You okay?
Yeah.
When you build your army, assuming you build it according to the standard rules, you get a certain number of command points. These are things you can spend during the game to do cool stuff.
Okay.
To do a reroll, to upgrade one of your characters to something.
Kind of like how we have chat to give us
100%, yes.
Cool.
To let somebody shoot twice.
Got it.
To have somebody attack multiple times. All of these cool things. That's something you just have to learn with your army. It's a lot. There's a lot of information out there.
And how, when to, yeah.
So we're going to ignore that for this game because we certainly don't need it. But in your command phase, again, assuming you built your army according to the rules, you will get a command point in the command phase every time.
Say that again.
So the start of your turn is the command phase. You'll get a command point.
Oh, you just are accruing them.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is cool because oftentimes you'll spend a whole bunch of them and you'll be like, oh my god, I don't have any for later. But in the in 9th edition, you will continue to get them throughout the game. Excuse me. Also, certain units, very few, will have something to do in the command phase. Like the chaplain, actually. The chaplain, the new model for today, in the command phase, gets to sing a song, potentially inspire his people, and that happens in the command phase.
Did you role play that?
No. Okay. You should, but you don't have to.
I got it.
There's a litany of hate. There's all sorts of great stuff.
I love it.
It's Warhammer. It's
like the ultimate... You know what's funny? Today is the first time ever that I actually wanted to know the lore. Like, not that like it just didn't feel like I needed to know it for the game, but like, the more I play it, they're like, well, God, I gotta know why I'm fighting these people. Yeah. You know, why are,
And orc lore is relatively simple, not simple, but it's straightforward at least.
Well, and I just want to know, like, why are we conquering the universe? Like, that's the thing.
Good question. Orcs exist to fight. That's the only thing they care about. That's the only thing they enjoy is fighting. Now, there's some sub-factions of orcs that really want to collect shiny bits, shiny gubbins. So they're out for that, but they just really love to fight. So anything they come across, they just want to fight it.
Right.
It's very simple.
No, that I understand.
Yeah.
It's like those guys, like why, what are, like, I know it's the gods and the goddesses, like have split the universe in a sense, but.
Yes. And so, and Warhammer builds in, because you could sit down playing the most heroic Space Marines, and you'll be fighting another chapter, another sub-faction of Space Marines, and you're like, well, how do I rationalize why two people in the same faction are fighting each other? But there's endless reasons why that would happen. Even in the Imperium of Man, Space Marines are constantly worried that other Space Marines are falling they're to chaos. Is there a taint? Did we hear something? Did somebody back home say you guys are now evil? We're going to fight you. Like a million reasons why.
That's cool.
Even within the same organization, people would fight.
Orcs just want to have a big fight.
Yeah. In fact, I mean, there are stories of orcs who have signed up to fight for somebody as mercenaries just to be able to then fight the people that hired them afterward.
Whoa.
Like that was the only reason why they did it. It's great. It's super fun. There's a taint. There's lots of taints in Warhammer. Okay, so command phase, it's done. We don't need to do anything. Now we go to the movement phase. Mm-hmm. So the movement phase, you can move every unit in your army if you want to. You do not have to. You can give them either stand still. You can give them a standard movement up to their movement score. You can advance, which means you roll a d6 and add it to the movement. So basically you're running forward. After that, you can only shoot an assault weapon, a weapon that's made to shoot after run-in. And then there's all sorts of bonus things, which we might not get into.
Assault? Where would it say it's an assault?
So it would say it in the type.
Oh, that's right. And that's actually what makes the troops really good, is that they can...
Sometimes, yeah. So different things. And then like your war boss...
Yes, you do get a negative for firing when running, but depending on which one...
Yeah, so there are certain weapons you
can't even shoot.
You can only shoot assault weapons after advancing, and even then you're at a penalty. Again, some armies have special ways of dealing with that. There's lots of special rules for sub-factions, so you can really customize what your play style is and what you like to do. So your war boss has the Wa ability, which lets your buddies charge in a round even after they advanced, which is a rare
really
thing.
Cool.
Because normally after you advance, after you run forward, you can't do some other things. You're limited because you've spent all your energy running. Orcs, as long as they've got a leader nearby, they can run and then charge to run into battle again. So you can move, or you can advance.
Are these melee guys? Which ones are your long rangers?
They're all range, but they all have a little bit of melee ability as well.
Okay.
But they're mostly range.
Okay, great. We're gonna charge. I'm sorry.
Yeah, charges later in the turn, but
move.
you're preparing to.
Okay. We are going to
so you just have to keep So advancing is to get the most movement possible.
Yes. And we're gonna advance.
Okay.
I can do that now.
Sure. Yes.
And how do I figure that out?
So now just be aware though. So when you advance these guys, they're not going to be able to shoot after that because I don't think they have any assault weapons. The boys. Do they? Oh well, only one of them has that. So that one guy will be able to shoot. Here? Yeah. You only have So basically, when you build large blobs of orcs and things,
I'm still gonna do it. I have an instinct. And my instinct is to do that.
You're gonna have to get a couple of good rolls.
Yeah, I understand.
To get that far.
I understand.
Remember, you can pre-measure everything. So you are currently 18 inches away.
So I wouldn't get any closer. I wouldn't get close enough to do melee.
Well, when you charge, you can charge up to 12 inches away. Then you have to roll to see if you can make that charge move.
Okay.
So currently you're going to move 6 inches. Or you can advance and potentially move. I mean, if you roll a 6, you could move here, and then you'd definitely be able to charge. So you just got to get a good.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, you got to get a couple of good rolls.
And so I would move those 6. Remind me how I roll for charging.
Yeah. So for advancing, you're going to roll just one die and add it to your movement. So you're doing the boys?
Yeah.
Okay. And again, you can do it in any order you want. It's pretty good.
Not horrible.
That's pretty good. No, that's really good. Because again, if you look at your boys, next page. Your boys have a movement of. Where are we? So boys have a movement of 5 rather. So now.
6. So now we're at 9.
Yes.
Great. So the first boy can land here, no further than that.
Right. Yeah. Then you can just
put them around.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, yes, you are. Ideally, you would measure for each model that you're moving. When you're dealing with 30 models, just move them up, smash them in there. It doesn't. Yeah, he's sort of an island unto himself. Again, you can be very careful if you're playing a more
I'll organize
tournament
them in
level
a second.
game, but yeah, for fun, it doesn't matter. It's fine.
Okay, now I didn't move him though, technically, right? Or
you did. He's part of the. When a unit does something, everybody does it.
Got it.
And counts.
So we're gonna.
And that's actually a slight change to 9th edition because in the previous edition, if you had a unit where like one person had a heavy weapon, you could move the other ones around, and then that one didn't count as having moved, so you could shoot without penalty. But now, if a unit moves, everybody moves.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna move him a few inches.
Okay.
And
so this thing moves a lot faster.
And now, does this have to be pointing at him in this version?
You can have it point, and you can turn it around if you want.
There are obstructions, but I can see all 3 of your guys, technically, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay,
for sure.
And now I have my bossy, who's here. My Zorks. And he can move 5.
Mm-hmm.
But his shooter's good. His shooter's really good. So I'm actually going to have him... Let's see. We'll just keep him back there. Let's see. He can see you guys.
Yeah.
But I kind of want him to get to that boy.
Okay. I mean, he also go that way.
Yeah, that's what I'm considering.
Sure. I mean, 5 inches would get you right. He'd be able to see. If you didn't want
all of them. Well, not all of them.
No, he wouldn't. But he'd be able to see.
Great, I like that. Yeah,
okay, cool.
Okay, cool.
Good. All right, movement done.
Welcome if you're just joining the chat. This is our first time streaming Warhammer Day, Warhammer Weekend.
Warhammer Weekend. Yes.
Where we're live for 2 hours from 2 p.m. Pacific time to 4 p.m. Pacific time. If you aren't following him, make sure you're following North.
Yes, please.
And if you haven't subscribed, if we get to 14 more subscriptions, then we'll do another giveaway.
And I also stream Warhammer on Wednesdays.
Don't tell him about it. Okay, just kidding. He's crazy intelligent. You'll learn more about it. I'm just fucking with you.
So movement is done.
Okay.
And there are a couple other movement things in the game. Essentially, if you start off your turn in melee combat with somebody, you can fall back. That has a whole its own host.
Oh, War Boss will need to be within 6 boys so they can charge.
Yeah,
but he is. He is. But good to know.
He's good for where they are now. But yes, you always want to make sure that your bubble, your aura, is affecting who you need it to affect. After movement phase is the psychic phase. If your army has any characters who can use psychic powers, if you are fielding them, then you can attempt to use psychic powers. Neither of our armies today have psychic powers. We don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
So then we move into the...
Have you moved?
No, this is your...
It's on me, that's right.
Then we move into the shooting phase. And just like movement, every single one of your units can shoot as long as they have a valid weapon that they can shoot with, depending on what you did in the movement phase, and that has range to a target.
Great. So
start shooting. So pick somebody and we'll go through shooting.
We're going to start with the Boondaka.
Okay.
And
so in addition, when you look at, so a unit might have multiple weapons. Lots of units have multiple weapons. When it comes time to shooting, you can shoot all of those weapons if you want, except for grenade and pistol weapons. Those work a little bit differently. If you shoot a pistol, you shoot that instead of everything else. Typically, you reserve pistols for when you're locked in combat because you can shoot a pistol even if you're up close to somebody.
Got it.
And a grenade has to replace. There's some extra rules with that.
So we're gonna get this boy.
You're shooting all the way at the dreadnought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I have 2 assaults. The one that's a 36 range, and we have my mech special that's 24. So we're just gonna blow him out.
Okay.
So it's assault 3, so I get to roll 3 dice.
3 dice. Yep.
And it's ballistics 5.
Right, except just make sure you keep track of...
Add 1 to hits made by this model. Meaning what?
We'll keep going.
Add 1 to hits made by this model's big shooter and grot blaster.
Okay.
So...
Yeah, so what happens with orcs is orcs are very bad at shooting. Space Marines hit on a 3 or better in shooting. Orcs hit on a 5 or better shooting.
Which is why you want to get up in melee.
Yes. But the grots are like goblins. They help out the orcs. So if you have a grot that's doing the shooting, you shoot better. So the grots are actually controlling that weapon.
Great.
So instead of hitting on a 5, you hit on a 4.
Great. Oh, so you add 1, meaning you detract.
But basically, yeah, you add 1 to your result, which affects what you need to roll. So it's different ways of looking at it.
So I'm rolling 3.
3, yes. Assault 3.
3 hits.
3 hits. Okay. So then you look at the strength of the weapon. So the strength of your big shooter
is 5.
Your big shooter is 5. The toughness of my
guess is I'm gonna have
Sonic Dreadnought is toughness 7. So now here's where where you have to look at numbers a little bit. It's not exactly math, but it's numbers. The strength of the attack, strength of the weapon going against the toughness of the target. If they're the same, you need to roll 4s. So you have a 50-50 chance of wounding if they're the same. If the strength of the weapon is higher than the toughness,
you roll 3s.
You have to roll 3s. If it's double, you only have to roll 2s.
Okay.
Now, if it's the other way, if the strength is less than the toughness, you have to roll 5s. And if it's half, you have to roll 6.
So I'm rolling 5s.
A 1 will always fail. Does that make sense? Essentially, you always remember 4 on 4 needs 4, because if it's equal, you need 4s. And then again, if it's seesaw the other way, it's easier and or.
4 on 4.
I mean, that's the way at least that I remember.
No, I love it. You've never said that before, or that I've heard, and I really like it. That's helpful for me to remember it.
So your strength is lower than my toughness.
So I have to roll 5s.
Yeah, so you have to roll 5s.
And how many do I roll?
It'll be how many hits. Yeah.
Which is 3.
Yeah, so 3 hit. Now you're rolling to wound, and...
Oh! Can I use a command point?
Sure.
What, just mean roll 1?
For us, we'll re-roll.
No, I want to play the game. How would I use a command point here?
Well, again, Just reroll the whole
No.
thing. I want to see you reroll. Right, but you're rerolling.
Nope.
Reroll to wound.
No. I'm
Okay,
gonna wound you with the mech special.
Okay.
We're gonna see what happens.
So reroll one of them.
No. I'm gonna do the next gun. I missed on this one.
You can't go back.
No, I'm shooting both.
All right. No, I know, but if you wanted to reroll,
I can't reroll because we don't know what my command points are, and you're letting me
you have one command point,
which affords me what in the game.
Oh well, it depends on what you spend it on. That's
what
the thing.
can I? If I wanted to reroll this, can I spend it on that?
Yes.
One.
Yes.
Dice.
Yes.
Okay. Are you being nice or is that
no?
The rules?
I'm saying look, it's. So you see what Talnak's saying.
A CP would be one wound roll, but would normally save the reroll for better weapons.
Yeah.
Okay,
we
great.
don't have a huge amounts of weapons that we're playing with right now, but yeah, I mean you could reroll something.
No. Moving on.
I'm gonna use a command point. So,
great. I might have to do it now. I'm gonna hold.
Okay.
I'm gonna play.
So the mech special is Assault 9. It's this gun up on top that's shooting out just a hail. Well, it's Orks, so it's just a hail of junk that's being shot through a gun.
And I have to roll 5 or better.
Yeah, because it's actually an Ork shooting this one.
How do I know that, though? Oh, shit.
Well, the Grot rule says it overrides the other one, but you can actually also just look at the model. And it's literally the Ork shooting this.
I see. But I'm sorry, where would it say? Where does it...
Oh, your ballistic skill is.
I see, got it. So that's 1 hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, okay, 1 hit.
1 hit out of 9 shots. Again, needing 5s or 6s to hit. Okay, so you're going to roll that 1 die again. It's still strength 5 against toughness 7, so you still need a 5 to wound. And that's a 6. So again, 9 shots went out. 1 of them hit, which means 1 of them actually impacted
on... said, stop being nice, Jess. Stop being nice, Scott. Jess doesn't like it. It's true. I want to win fair and square.
Okay, that's good. So of all the shots, 1 actually impacted on the Dreadnought. Then you roll to see, was that shot that hit good enough to actually penetrate? Yeah. Well, yeah, we don't want it to be too close by the armor because the armor save is a separate thing. But would that shot be powerful enough, hitting in the right place to hurt that unit?
Got it.
It was. Now you tell me what the armor penetration is.
Right, which is -2.
Okay,
that's pretty good.
That's very good. So armor penetration affects your save, your armor save. So how good is this armor save? Well, for taking a hit from a standard weapon, I would be able to roll a 3 or better to ignore it. The armor penetration makes it 2 more difficult. So I need a 5 in order to save. And I failed. I got a 3. So then I say, how much damage did that thing do?
1.
1 damage. So I take 1 wound. So I go from 8 wounds to 7 wounds.
Could be worse.
Right, you gotta whittle them down. I will use dice to denote how many. Okay. So you've shot everything that you can shoot with the Boom Dack and Snazwagon. So who's shooting next?
Why don't we go to yours?
Well, no, because it's your turn.
But
you
we
shoot
only
everything.
10 more minutes.
Well, we can go a little bit over.
Okay. We'll get just by.
Okay. Your war boss. What are we shooting?
We can shoot this. We can only shoot the shooter. Oh, 8 inches. Yeah. No, we can only do the shooter. Okay. And so it's 2. Okay. So and it's an orc shooting it. Mm-hmm. So it's a bad shooter.
But this is, well, yeah. Yes.
So.
He's a boss, but he still shoots just as poorly as.
Correct.
As anyone else.
It's 18.
And it's, yep. I'm just it's
I
always.
I measured it already.
Okay, good. Pre-measuring is good. So need 5s to hit with the big shooter. Or a regular shooter, whatever. And,
gonna reroll.
Okay. Hey, 1 hit.
1 hit.
All right. Oh, you were shooting at the Dreadnought still?
Yeah.
Okay. So strength of this weapon is
4.
Okay.
And
toughness
that means...
7, so you still need a 5.
Great.
It's not double yet.
Oh.
And it did not wound. So it hit me, did not wound me. All right. And you had the one guy with an assault weapon over here
who could shoot.
You need to roll 6s to hit, but
because
you advanced, and that applies a -1 to your assault weapon shooting.
And there's 3, so I need 6. Okay.
Shooting at the same target.
Oh no! Can I see where? It has to be
You can
those boys.
shoot.
I think it's because he's here.
Okay.
So it has to be those boys.
Okay. 3 shots going toward the Noise Marines.
No, 1!
1 hit. Toughness
Strength is
or strength 5. Toughness 4.
So I have to hit a
You
3.
only need a 3.
We're gonna roll it, babe. No!
And there's the 2. Okay. This is fine.
It's a game.
All right. So the shooting phase is done. You've shot everything that you can. Now we move into the charge phase. And in the charge phase, you decide, do I want to try to get in melee combat with the enemy? You have to roll to do it. It's a little bit of a process. So who do you want to charge?
Oh, I want these guys to be in melee.
Okay. Do you want to charge? You could charge this if you wanted to.
I don't think that makes sense.
I mean,
It doesn't make sense to do that.
You could. All right, now you can charge.
And I could split, right?
Well,
not technically.
So these guys could charge either the Noise Marines or the Chaos Lord, actually, or they can charge both. But let's not deal with that. That gets a little bit more complicated.
Charge him.
Let's
get rid of him because
charge the Lord.
I imagine he benefits
the Lord
you.
of Chaos.
Okay, all right.
A little bit. Actually, you know what? No, you can't charge him. Here's a pet peeve I have with this game. It's super tiny, it's super nitty gritty, it's silly. When you declare a charge, you have to be within 12 inches of the target that you want to charge. But you only have to get within 1 inch of a target in order to punch or stab that target. So if you only have to be within 1 inch, why can't you charge something that's 13 inches away? You would need to roll double 6s. It's hard. It would be a miracle if you could do it.
I think
but
you
why
need to
can't
send
you
a
do
letter. That's
my
clip it.
That's my
send
thing.
it to Games Workshop, and let them know how he feels.
Let them know how
Warhammer
annoying
Laddie is really upset.
Warhammer at warhammer.com. Okay, so you're going to charge the Orks at my Noise Marines. Now, the way this works is first you declare your charge. Yeah, because rules. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to do that. Okay, so you declare your charge. Now, it used to be, up until the last edition, that anytime you were being charged, you could potentially fire Overwatch. What is Overwatch? Overwatch is, holy crap.
It used to be, it's not anymore.
I'll get to it in just a second. So it used to be that, oh my god, I see this giant wave of Orks coming at me. My guys are going to just try to shoot anything they can really quickly to stop this charge coming.
Totally.
You only hit on 6s in Overwatch, so it's hard to do, but it gives you a chance to stop a charge. If you have something like a flamethrower, though, it works really good in Overwatch. In the new edition, you have to spend a command point in order to fire Overwatch.
Whoa.
And you can only spend a command point on one thing per
round.
You can't do the same thing in multiple times in a phase. So you can only Overwatch once, essentially.
And if I charged you 3 times, only one of those items.
Exactly.
Whoa.
Now there's some special rules. There's some stratagems. Some armies have. Tau can Overwatch everything for free. Wow. Right, exactly. So because they cried when they heard the rule, and Games Workshop changed it for them.
For real?
Kind of, yeah. It was a day one patch.
Ew.
Hey. It's fair though. It's fair.
Because Tau already have a hard time.
Arguably, yes. So I am going to spend my imaginary command point to fire Overwatch.
Okay.
And what that means is your unit firing Overwatch can shoot anything and everything they have. Again, except for a pistol, they would have to do only pistol. And you only hit on 6s. Now, this unit happens to have a whole bunch of weapons, so we'll see if any of them if any of them hit.
Actually, he was talking about her. So every time we say Tau, we are talking about her.
Yes, by definition. All right, 4 of these guys have sonic blasters. They are assault 3 each. So I'll be rolling 12 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Again, it's Overwatch, so I'm only hitting on 6s. Oh, love that sound. And we have
oh my god
3.
Oh my goodness.
3 of them. The strength of the Sonic Blasters 4. Toughness of Orc Boys is 4. So I need 4s in order to wound. And I got 2. So now you look at your So now you're going to look at your save for your boys. Oh, you were on the right one. So all the way over here, your save is
+6.
So 6 up save. So no armor penetration on Sonic Blasters.
2 things here.
So yeah, 2. Oh. Wow. So we don't have a top-down camera, unfortunately, on the dice tray, but Jessica just rolled 2 6s. Great success.
Great success, Mike.
Okay. So that happened. Now, the other one here, he has a Blastmaster. Blastmaster is like a super huge, awesome guitar. It can shoot in 2 different modes. Single frequency. Give me a single frequency. Okay. Now give me a variable frequency. I'm going to do that one.
Oh.
So that gives
Thank
me...
you for not saying warbly.
So it gives me D6 shots. So I'm going to get 5 shots from that. And again, have to hit on 6s because it's Overwatch. And 1 hits. This is also strength 4, toughness 4, I need 4 or better, and I failed. Boy, that's... And you're far... And now I have some other weapons, but they don't have that range, so I cannot shoot them. Charging is really interesting too, because if you can maneuver it, so like say all of your guys were behind this and still within 12 inches, you could charge.
Mr. John, how nice.
Rating,
we got
thank
the rate
you so
from
much.
Mr. John. If you're just joining us, we are 13 subscribers away from giving a Warhammer gift out to you.
You don't need line of sight to charge.
Oh,
so you can charge from around the building, which prevents people from shooting you with Overwatch.
Okay.
Which is really cool. For shooting, though, in this game, you do need line of sight in almost every case. And it is true line of sight to your models. So you sometimes have to get down and say, "What does this guy see?"
You said if I was all behind here, what would be?
Then I wouldn't have been able to shoot
Correct.
Overwatch because I couldn't see you.
Oh, but I couldn't have been able to shoot you though.
Right.
So it's not it's moot.
Well, right, but in order to get up, if like say this had been here, you could have hid and then just charged me around the corner because you only were able to shoot with one of those guys anyway. So, okay. Overwatch is done.
Okay.
Now you need to roll your charge roll. Now here's another weird thing about this game. No matter how slow a unit is normally, even if it's got like a 3-inch movement, you still roll 2d6 for your charge movement. Doesn't make any sense.
So okay, I'm charging.
You're charging.
I've decided to charge.
Yes, you've declared the charge.
I just rolled d6 now.
2d6.
After you have done your Overwatch, if you spend a command point to do it.
You got it.
So no matter what, I'm not like allowed to charge 6 inches.
Right, you have to roll.
I have to roll
yes.
whatever okay.
So you are approximately 9 inches away, so you would need to roll an 8 or better on 2 dice.
Which Mama did.
Which of course you did.
And I couldn't have charged if I wasn't within 13 or 12 inches
right.
or more.
Exactly.
Got it.
So you can move up to, you got, yeah. Wow.
I know. I might have
more 6s.
I just might have wasted it.
Okay, so we're just going to move you guys up. You can, and then there's what's called a pile-in move. So essentially you run everybody up, and then you can pile in around whoever you're attacking. Because now you won't be able to actually fight with all of your orcs because they can't reach. You can fight.
Oh, that's kind of crappy.
You can fight with everybody who is within 1 inch, and then everybody in the next rank.
Hold on. Why can't
yes.
I do this if I got that many?
Well, you could.
Okay.
If you had enough movement to measure that up.
Wouldn't you say?
You can, yes, actually, yes, with your roll, for sure. Now, you have to be careful, though. You cannot end within 1 inch of anybody else unless you also charge that other unit. Now, you can declare charges against multiple units to hedge your bets or embroil them in your combat. There are lots of different things you can do.
Gotcha. And you can't be off the board.
Correct.
Okay, cool. Let's fuck them up.
Okay, once the charge phase is done, you go into the fight phase. And we're going to need a calculator and a dice app for you. You got it?
I got all those things.
Okay, good. Because now we fight. So in the fight phase, anybody who charged fights first. Yeah, exactly, Lord Townax. So basically you declare the charge, you roll, you move in, and then you get a pile in to sort of arrange your figures as best you can.
I have the Assault Dice app.
Ooh.
Welcome, new viewers. If
Legacy.
you're new, do one thing first before we continue. Hit that follow button if you haven't. And then if you're so inclined and have $5 to spare, give yourself a subscription.
Or if you're an Amazon Prime member and you got a
do
Prime
that
subscription
because you might get a giveaway.
We've done 2 so far.
We've done 2 so far. And you're going to give cool things. If you can see what he's got behind him, you can imagine what he's got to give.
I have a lot. Yes.
Carrying on. Choppa choppa.
Yes.
Okay, so...
And John knows what's about to happen. For sure. All right. So now we need to do some calculations.
Okay.
So again, typically the fighting happens in order of whoever charged first. There are other ways of like jumping ahead in the initiative order essentially, but we're just going to go straightforward here.
Ooh, all subs are 20% off. That's cool. I thought that was only for September. That's
Oh,
cool.
is it? Yeah, I don't know if it's continuing. Okay, so let's count how many are within range here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. You could have put, let's call it 20.
I'm going to let you do the work. Yeah. Okay, it's 20.
Okay, let's call it 20. Let's say that they are 19 standard Choppa Slugga boys and your knob.
Okay.
Because again, you can organize your models essentially how you want. So 19 of your boys. Now, how many do you have to look to see how many attacks they have? So Orc boys have standard 2 attacks.
So good.
Now, the Green Tide special rule says if the unit has 20 or more, which it does, started with 30, you add 1 to attack. So now each one has 3 attacks. Now, they're all equipped, those models at least are equipped with a choppa, which is some sort of a hand weapon. It can be an axe, it can be a sword, just something.
It could be their gun.
It could be, yeah. So what does the special rule on that say?
Each time the bearer fights, it can make 1 additional attack with its weapon.
Now that's 4 attacks per boy. 4 attacks per boys, and you have 20 of them. How many attacks is that?
I don't know. 180.
So that is only 80 attacks, and we haven't gotten to the knob who's the leader yet because he has some different stats, so we don't want to lump them all together. So let's do 80 attacks against my poor.
What do I click
Marines.
here?
I think you.
Oh yeah, just keep on rolling them.
No, there's stop.
Look.
Okay, there's a way to tell it you want 80, but I don't know. Don't trash them.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Well, we're just gonna just roll.
There is an official dice app that Games Workshop put out. It's no longer available, but if you still have it, it still works.
Oh, okay, here we go.
And then you roll it, and then you see you're looking for you hit on 3s, so it'll tell you up here.
Jeez, 16. Oh my god. 16, 14, 8, and 16.
So
54 hits.
So 54 hits. And now you need to see if you wound. So the strength of the weapon. Strength is melee, which means... Or, I'm sorry. Strength is user, which means you look at the strength of the unit. Strength 4. My guys are toughness 4. You need 4s. So roll those again.
How do I... Oh, just do that.
So out of 54 hits... Yeah, if you click on 4, it'll... 24 wounds. Now, there's no AP, so I'm just going to use this. Noise Marines save on a 3 or better.
Okay.
So I have a better than average chance of saving. So
I love winning.
24 wounds. We'll see how many go through, or how many I save. Fair amount.
Because you're using my dice.
Yes. So 18 saved. So that means 6 go through.
It has to be 4. Why is 3?
I save on 3 or better.
Got it.
Yeah. So 6 go through. Okay. Now
worse.
you take wounds in order. So basically, if somebody gets hurt and has more than 1 wound,
you give it to that person first.
Going until it carries on. All right. So there are 2 wounds each. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you killed 3 of my Marines.
It's pretty great. It's pretty great.
Now again, up until last week, that would have killed all of my guys. but because they used to be 1 wound, now they're 2 wounds.
Gotcha.
So things have changed.
I think that makes sense. If I'm going 3 guys up against 5, that feels a little bit better.
I should say, Noise Marines are really fun. Not only do they have sonic weapons, they have a couple of other options they have, but they have a special ability called Music of the Apocalypse. And that says that every time a model in this unit is slain, it is driven to make 1 last attack before succumbing to its injuries.
Question.
Yes.
Could I shoot the pistols also?
In next time it's your shooting phase.
I see. Got it.
But yes. So these guys, before they die, even like with their arms and their head cut off, they still get to make 1 final attack. So now there's some interesting things here because it says the slain model can shoot with one of its ranged weapons as if it were in your shooting phase. That's all it can do rather. So I'm going to shoot you even though we're up close.
With your...
Okay. Yes. So we are going to. I'm going to attack as if it were the shooting phase, which it is not. Sonic Buster. Oh, right. Yeah. Usually I don't get charged this early in the game. No, that is an excellent point. Yes. So yes.
You suck.
Only 1.
Bad manners.
Nope.
Bad manners.
I missed them all anyway, so it didn't matter either way. Now, the 2 of my Marines who are left, they are still going to punch back.
Okay.
Because in the fight phase, everybody fights who's in melee. Even if it's not your turn, the other people get to fight back. So we fight back. I have 2 Marines left. One of them has 2 attacks just using his fists. They both fail. The other one has a power fist. So I'm going to attempt to fist some of your boys.
If you're new to this channel, this is our dynamic. Scott streams Greek mythology, he does hobby days, and he's a Warhammer warlord. And this is going to be a regular show now on Saturdays from 2 to 4 p.m.
Yes.
Time. What?
I fisted one of your boys to death.
Sounds like Mr. Hands.
So, here.
My brother's like, hey, you gotta check this out. And you showed me the Mr. Hands video. I was like, why?
No.
Why? Does he get to blow up and hurt somebody?
No.
Okay.
No, they don't have that.
It just doesn't end.
Okay. It's just endless torment for him. Okay, my turn. Command phase. I get a command point. Woo! Because I already spent one.
Right.
Which is good. Now, movement. I don't know that I really need to move anything, but why not?
If Dwayne Johnson had downstairs neighbors, they would be clueless about just about everything. You would be too if you lived under a rock.
Daryl, thanks for joining us. Daryl, we're using a bunch of... And welcome as well. Daryl, we're using your terrain. We showed it off with the lights.
I have to reiterate my absolute esteem for your lettering. It's fantastic. Very good work.
I moved my Chaos Lord up here. You can move up elevation depending on what type of terrain it is. There are terrain rules. It's in the book. Don't worry about it. I think... Oh, you know what? I am going to move.
And also, we're almost going to wrap up this stream, but if by some miracle we get 13 more subscriptions, we're going to get that giveaway. But we've already gotten 2, so congratulations to those fellas or people who've gotten the giveaways.
Oh, and I forgot my crazed rule for that, but it doesn't matter. Essentially, Dreadnought, because Chaos Dreadnoughts are so crazy, when they get hurt, they have a chance to immediately lash out, which is pretty cool. I'm just gonna move. He's gonna go. Okay. Movement phase is done. These guys can't move. I mean, they could disengage, but not easily.
Well, not without getting hurt.
Yeah, and they're sacrificial lambs. Doesn't matter. Because I'm gonna go after this stuff over here. You ready?
I focused on the wrong thing, didn't I?
No. These guys pump out a ton of shots, so that's definitely. And again, we're just playing for fun.
Are we?
I'm having fun. I fisted somebody to death. That's always good.
Gross.
Okay, ready for this? Shooting phase, because I have no psychers this time around. My Chaos Lord up here.
Oh, interesting. Rabbit said they could using the new command point escape thing.
Yeah, yes, you can pay to be able to move out and then still do stuff. There are other... I didn't know it was functional. I did not equip...
It's always glory, John. You get it.
We didn't go like hardcore and give everybody all their options, so we're not using relics or anything like that. Usually I give my guy a specific relic that I was looking for, but I don't have it. He has a combi plasma, which is a bolt gun glued to a plasma gun. I am going to shoot just the plasma gun. You know, I'm going to shoot it at your leader.
Okay. Even though he's obstructed?
Yeah.
You can still see him.
Yes.
Okay, go for it.
I'd
like to see you try.
I'm within rapid fire range.
Okay.
So instead of one shot, it's going to be 2 shots.
Okay.
Now, here's the question. Do I supercharge it? I have a reroll because I got a new command. I'm going to supercharge it.
Okay.
So plasma weapons, they're very hot. They're very hot.
As me?
So you can shoot them in a safe setting, which is still pretty powerful, or you can supercharge your plasma gun.
This is fun.
Which ups its stats, but if you roll a 1, it explodes and you die.
Oh, can't wait for that to happen.
But I have a reroll. But if
Can't
I roll,
wait for it to happen twice.
which I've done, yes, and that's excuse me,
the COVID,
the allergies, and that's one way to know immediately if the person you're playing against has been playing Warhammer too long. Is if they say overcharge versus supercharge, because it changed 5 years ago from overcharge to supercharge.
Funny.
So if they overcharge, you're like,
You're just that kind of geezer. You're
okay.
that boomer.
All right. I need 2s to hit.
That's it?
And on 1s I explode, but I'm gonna reroll. No 1s! It's amazing. I get a 2 and a 5. So they both hit. Now, because I shot it at supercharge mode, they are strength 8. What is the toughness of your war boss?
5.
Toughness 5? Okay, so mine is higher but not double, so I need 3s in order to wound you with my plasma. And that was a 3. Do you want me to roll it?
No.
There. Okay. So I succeeded both wounds. These are AP minus 3.
No.
So what is your war boss's save?
6?
So the all the way on the end. Yes, and I don't think...
Not too bad.
Does he have anything else? No. No, save is 4.
Oh, save. Yeah, I get strength is 6. Yeah, 4.
So with the AP of minus 3, that makes it you need to roll a 7 on a 6-sided die, which unfortunately you cannot do. Those 2 shots do 2 damage each. So how many wounds did this guy start out?
Oh no. Where do I see it?
So it'll be the W.
6. Oh, good.
Okay,
There's
so you're
2
still
left.
alive. You're just down to 2.
Great.
Ooh, so that actually makes things
interesting.
Oh, how come I didn't give my Chaos Lord a oh, whatever. It's fine. Okay, it's fine. So now we move on to the Sonic Dreadnought. Sonic Dreadnought has 2 weapons. So remember this guy has the Blastmaster with the different frequencies?
Sure.
This one arm, not one, it has 2 Blastmasters strapped together.
What?
And the other arm is a missile launcher.
Okay, of course it is.
Because why not, right? Now you can shoot different weapons at different enemies if you want. In the previous edition you couldn't unless you had a special rule called split fire. Now everybody can do it. I am going to shoot... What do I want to do here? So you have 2 wounds left on your war boss. How many wounds does the
Good question.
the big boy have?
8. We
Oh,
go
wow.
8. I think it makes sense to get rid of the war boss. Depending on how much damage you can actually do.
Can do a lot, but what's my charge? No. I'm going to shoot everything at the vehicle.
Okay, good luck.
Is that the wrong choice? Probably. Twin dual Blastmasters. I'm going to shoot them on single frequency. Give me single frequency. They are D3 shots, so I have to roll to see how many shots. Wow,
Jeez.
Nice. I rolled a 5 and a 6, which means I get 6 shots. Hitting on 3s. Ugh. 1, 2, 2, 3 hit.
Okay.
Strength of 8. What is your toughness on the wagon?
The boondocka wagon, schnazza wagon, toughness is 6.
Okay, so I'm higher but not double. So I need 3s to wound. With my, can my sound tear right through the, ugh. 1 goes through AP minus 2. So what's the save?
4.
So with a 6, you could ignore it.
I gave him some water earlier while he was eating all that candy.
Close, it's a 5. It's D3 damage. 1 damage.
That's okay.
Oh, it's fine. So 1 damage.
7.
So here's the thing, folks. What I always like to tell people.
A combat flowchart sounds really smart.
Just like other dice-based games, you can have the best strategy, know every rule, have the best units that are most effective for their points, have the best strategy, know where everything is on the board. It still comes down to dice rolling. And that's why I never get upset about losing, because I roll poorly and it doesn't matter. Because there's nothing you can do about it at that point. Missile launcher. I am going to shoot a crack missile at you. Crack. That
Enter the Kraken.
That bunker, it can shoot super crack missiles. I get 1 shot, 1 missile. Hitting on 3. Hey, I hit. Same strength, so I still need a 3 to wound.
Your memory is better than
And
I didn't
wound.
And it didn't happen.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, so now if we were playing with more full things, there's stratagems that I can be using on these dudes too. Okay, let's see. What do I want to do now? I don't know. I don't really have anything that I can do.
Well, this has been a really great stream. I think I won.
Oh, you certainly won.
No, I didn't.
You did.
I didn't.
You killed. No, you killed 3 models. And I killed 1 of yours.
What's the point value?
Mine cost well, we didn't kill a unit, so it's hard to. But even so though, but these, if you look at it this way, my squad of noise marines is 5 power level.
Okay.
How much is your squad of boys?
12.
So divide that up per model. My guys cost way more than yours.
Oh, okay. Great. Thank you, Yami.
So
I did
100%.
So, Scott.
Jessica, yes.
From now on, henceforth, unless life gets in the way, you'll be doing this Warhammer weekend show on Saturdays. At 2 p.m. Pacific time.
Yes.
And more than likely, I'll be here.
Awesome.
Which will mean that I will get really good.
For sure.
Which also means that I've got to paint some more. So we could do that for part of the section of the show.
Absolutely. Hobby is yeah.
And I also think that if you guys have specific Warhammer questions, you should definitely send them to Scott, what you want to see, what you want to know. And he's also going to talk about the updates because Games Workshop always throws out constantly on Saturday.
Much.
Like, so he'll be your source of Warhammer War Room. The War Room.
Ooh,
we're gonna call it the War Room.
The War Room.
It's
weekend War
the weekend.
Room?
No, it's the War Room.
Okay.
This is the War Room.
The War Room.
And I think this is a great show. And
yeah, it should be fun.
If you're brand new to the channel, you do at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Monday motivation, Tuesday tryhards, Wednesday workouts, Thursday thoughts, and Friday.
Yep.
You could look on his actual channel.
Whoa, you rolled the dice.
I did. Not too badly, actually.
Your mighty hands.
You can check out his schedule. He streams all the time, and he's also a member of the Homebuddies.
Yes.
We would normally have our Homebuddies group stream tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific, but it's Halloween, and we're hanging out with the kids, so that's why we gotta call it as well. I did say thought, and that's what I meant.
Sure.
I did.
Oh, right. Thursday thoughts.
Thursday
yes.
Thoughts. That hoe over there. So what would be what's your parting? We didn't get to 40, but we did get to over 25 subscriptions.
Oh yes, thank you,
which is
everyone,
incredible.
so much.
We'll be giving
So
2
generous, thank you.
giveaways.
Yes.
With that, and if you don't have a book will be included with that. But
I think both of them have books.
okay, well then that's great. And if you don't have a book, you can order it.
Yes,
it's
if you're new,
it's called Naming Your Baby Geek. Naming Your Little Geek. I'm just
dropping everything. Yeah, I wrote a book. It is out. Oh, I should probably show the front of it. It does have a nice back. I wrote a book. It's all about naming kids or anything else based on names that characters have had in all of our favorite properties.
Geeky properties.
Books, comics, movies. There are some Warhammer names in the book. Not a lot, just because there's so many and they're all unique. Most of them are unique. But where the names overlapped with things in other properties, I included those. And some of them are really interesting the way they overlap.
That's good to know. Okay. So again, hit that follow button if you're brand new to this stream. If not, if you don't want to, that's a weird choice.
I mean, yeah, that would be weird. But
also, thank you to all of our homies for hanging out. Our home buddies, proper, our home buds. We should like our buddings. They're our buds. You guys are our buds. If you're a home buddy follower, you're a bud.
Or a I guess
rosebuds.
Or a budlin.
A budling, yeah, budding. We'll think about it. So this is the War Room.
We'll workshop it.
We'll workshop it. Games workshop it.
Yes.
But also, thanks for your questions. Thanks for hanging out with us.
And have a great Halloween.
Data.
But stay at home.
Crappy Halloween, everybody.
As long as you can.
Who's streaming? Let's see
who
we're going to send it off to.
Who is? I forgot to get the name of it. Cameron and Emma are on a charity stream tonight. I don't follow them, so how do...
I'll find it right now. So we'll send you guys over to Geek Bomb in the chat. Be sure to... They're streaming for... Yeah, it's literally Geek Bomb.
Can I do it through here?
Yeah, you do /raid space Geek Bomb.
In
here? The chat. Yeah, you can do it. So go ahead and drop your Scott emote in there.
Oh, nice.
With the, Scott pointing up so they know where they're coming from. And be sure if you have an extra... Correct. If you have an extra couple dollars to give to the charity that they're streaming for, go do it. And we're going to send you over there shortly and see you guys on the internet. We're most active on Twitter. So you can hang out with us there too.
And in the Discord. But yeah.
Bye,
thank you so much.
everybody. How do you do it? There you go.